what we expect to hear tonight is the fact that we're going to lay out our achievements, what we've done over the past 24 months, which is 2 years. And then we're also going to delve into what we have in store planned for the Liberian people and possibly some of the achievements that were undone.
My name is Harry GKONEAN. I'm one of the 2 candidates running for president of the Liberian Association.
Thank you.
So we basically do one thing today. We prosecute the current leadership. We put the leadership on trial. We allow the Liberian people to serve as the jury. At the end of the conversation, we expect them to pass a verdict.
Good afternoon to all. We are about to start the debate. We need your undivided attention, please. If you keep talking to yourselves, you will not hear the candidates. We can do that after the debate. Please, let's give the candidates our attention. I believe you came here to hear from them. And so let us be attentive because there's a lot that is at stake. I want to invite our presidential candidates. As I call their name, please clap for them, okay? Steve BOLEY. Mr. Harry K.
Thank you.
When we talk over the reason why we did not jump immediately to the Constitution is because there were competing priorities, such as we needed to make sure the community starts to move again. My people, if you can recall, when COVID hit, everybody was afraid. And our community was hit hard because we had a couple of deaths in our community. So our people were not even motivated to come outside. They didn't even want to have meetings. People did not even care as much as possible for the Liberian Association. I saw the Lester administration try their best to ensure that they host meetings via Zoom and other things. And we attended those meetings. However, our priority at the time was to ensure that we bring our people out, motivate our people, and create an enabling environment. At that time, the Constitution was secondary.
Thank you.
It was not primary. But I want to also say this for the record. Mr. Harry was not the one that took money from a pocket to sponsor the July 26th. The records are there. Liberians voluntarily contributed, whether it was for drink, whether it was for food. So the credit must be given to you, and thank you so much to our community for being very successful for being very, very active.
Thank you. Thank you. Mr. BOLEY was elected president of the Liberian Association. He has his responsibility, constitutional responsibility. He asked me to serve as chair of the July 26th team. I told you what I did to ensure that the program was successful. I credited the association $900. It cannot be disproved. We could not get the whole. I took my money. Those who read the report, it's in the report that Harry credited $900. I sponsored the meet and greet. I took the money from my pocket, my own money. The food, there's a lady called Cynthia, 19 in Glendale. I call her.
Mr. Harris, according to the Constitution, Article 14, it says before one is eligible to become a contestant to contest for any position, he or she must have attended meeting for a minimum of 6 months consecutively. And according to the records, the attendance record, it shows that you did not attend meeting for 6 months. That shows that you're not qualified to contest as a president. So my question to you, would it be very fair, will you consider it fair if the Election Commission right now were to disqualify you and allow this man to run on a web ballot?
It says you shall attend general meeting for the past 6 months. For the past 6 months. So within the past 6 months, you must attend general meeting. The Constitution did not say you must attend every general meeting in the past 6 months. It did not say that. It did not say you must attend each general meeting for the past 6 months. Have I attended meetings in the past 6 months? Yes, I have. I told you that I hosted meetings. I've attended a couple of meetings in the past 6 months. Thank you.
Brother Edwin, thank you for that question. For the record, if you go in the chat room or what the board of directors reported, we turn over to the credit of Dr. Sherman, and the rest of the leadership, even as far as Lester Myers' leadership or his administration, they turn over the 501c3 document to us, and we turn it over to the board of directors. It is signed for, and they have it on the record. But on another note, Mr. Harry, who's running for the presidency, did not tell the Liberian people the truth. Harry did not attend more than 4 meetings. I challenge him because the records are there. Secondly, Harry was not appointed just as a committee chair. Harris was appointed, for the record, as the social committee chair for this organization, one of the 5 steering committees, for which we made him the head of the July 26 program. We could not make Mr. Lead the head of it because he is not part of the executive administration. But Harry is running away from his record, and he's saying that this administration failed.
Do we have any documentation to that effect, sir?
Most definitely.
Thank you.
Okay, so I was actually interested in also getting the documentation. Do you have any, communication that pointed me to or head that committee? I didn't receive any formal communication. I didn't receive any communication telling me about my, my responsibility or my performance indicator. What I know was that I was in a meeting. And in that meeting, the president asked me to chair the July 26th committee. That's what I know. If the president has a communication that you serve me, telling me my responsibility, what you expect me to do, you present that communication, and I will put my hand up. But
Thank you.
Until then, I'm not aware of that.
I think I have the perfect opportunity to respond to that. Folks, to tell you we're about seriousness in this community and want to move the community forward. But in order to do that, we have to do it with integrity, and we have to do it with credibility. Mr. Harry GKONEAN telling us here about the Constitution that he wants reform, but he does not even know that his role is enshrined in the Constitution. Why must I be redundant enough to give you another role to say this is your role when you've read the Constitution and your role says it as a social committee head?
But Mr. Bolley, you did say you had documentation to that effect.
Can you give me the communication that pointed me as social chair? I can apologize to the membership. I'm not big to do that. If you can give me a communication that shows that you appointed me as social chair, maybe I didn't read it properly. And I will apologize if you can show that.
Thank you. We'll move on. Thank you.
Okay, Steve, so my question go to Harry first. So we had a lot of pull and push in the committee chart regarding your vice president, non-resident election commissioner, about her absence. And then we had the commissioner to also coming back with a document supporting that in this public manner because it's an integrity issue. Are you going to say you accept that the commission was right, that your candidate communicated with them? And then if so, please apologize to them. And then, Mr. Steve Boley, we all work together. It was nice having Harry on the team. I know it's a tough day for you tonight, but I want to ask you, in your failure to provide those services for our community that Harry is talking about, can you openly say here tonight that Harry did not give you the support that you needed to get this thing done, or you're going to say openly that you did not give Harry responsibility to get a job done? Thank you.
Thank you.
No clapping.
Mr. Corner, you first.
Yeah, two interesting concerns. my vice presidential candidate was bereaved. Her grand-aunt died, and we engaged the commission to just give her an opportunity to go and bury her grand-aunt. It was the same day of the debate. So we try to work with them to see how we can shift the date of the debate to either, both debates on the same day so she can deal with her burial. They refused. And she abandoned the burial, she stayed, and she debated with Emmanuel. So I'm not sure why he brought that issue. But here's the thing. Steve was given an opportunity to lead this community as president. Steve is not saying he failed because of me. We gave you responsibility. If you appointed me, I'm not doing my job, let me go. Bring another people. There are thousands of people in the community. How are you and your vice president not blaming me for the failure of the administration? You were elected, I was not. You should have given another Liberian the opportunity to lead the community, to serve in that capacity. You did not do that. And why should I take the blame now for the failure of the administration?
Thank you, Mr. Konean. Mr. Bolley?
Vice President Emmanuel, first of all, I think you got to listen to the question. The question was in context. If Harry is claiming, it's Harry who has been claiming over and over that our administration failed. It is Harry who has been claiming. But you can't have it both ways if the administration failed according to Harry. You can't say you conducted a successful program under a failed administration. You want to take credit for the program that was successful, but the administration failed. You can say that. They can both cannot be right. So Harry got to reconcile that. But on the other hand, this administration did not fail. And how I know this administration did not fail, we were able, under our administration, as we are still in charge of the affair of this community up until the 20th, which is next Saturday, these men and women who are the election commission chair, the best of the best in our community, our administration were able to ensure that we went to them, reach out to them, and make sure we present them to the community for the community to elect them. Today, you are sitting here today because we have an election commission who set all of this up for us to be here. You can't say our administration failed when you have, as we said right now, the Liberian Association in its history, I will keep saying it to you, had only two
in real time with tangibles, in examples. What are some things you would do to immediately transform our community and that your leadership will show instantly?
Oh yeah. Great question. So one of the things we want to do, as soon as we take over, we're going to launch a youth mentorship program. Our young folks in the community, they're involved into substance abuse, gun violence. The last 2 years, nothing happened with young people in the community. I have a plan to deliver on that. We will launch the program. We will solicit volunteers. Some of you over here are professional people. You're going to serve as volunteers. We will link you with these young people in the community. We ask you 1 hour a week, 2 hours a week, 3 hours a week, so you can interact with these people and help them in their career development, in their personal development. This is one of the things we also want to do is we want to ensure that we launch what we call a presidential advisory committee. We'll go across the community, leaders of different ethnic groups. We're going to take you, we bring you into one committee. Religious leaders, we're going to bring you guys together to sit with you and have regular conversation. We will link that with what we call a quarterly lecture series, where we will call community leaders, we'll call professional people, business leaders. You're going to come here and sit and have a conversation. Let's interact, share your perspective, share your experience, and share processes through which we as members of the community can also benefit from that. So those are practical examples of some of the many things we think we can do to empower the community.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. We move on to Mr. Boley. Mr. Boley, what would you think that you are the best candidate to lead this committee for the next 2 years?
Well, first of all, I believe we are well situated to be the leaders for the next 2 years. As evidenced by that, in the history of Arizona Liberian Association, when I want to commend everyone that have served in the past, including President Lester Meyer, who's here, all the foundation that they laid from the past, we build up on that. For example, even my counterpart here came to the Liberian Association because we brought him on and gave him opportunity. Not only that, the vice president, his vice president, we brought her on and gave her opportunity. But what they fail to understand is when we took over 2 years ago, right after Lester's administration, one of the things we focus on, and you see, we will be speaking not only from the air, but we'll be speaking with facts. I want to present this quickly as a copy for them. That's an evidence of some of the things that we promised when we took over. So, one of the things we decided to do was to unite our community. And in order to unite the community, we had to have all the organizations in Arizona on board. For example, the Manigua Association. They were not interested in coming to the Liberian Association meeting. We were able to convince, to talk to them, work with them. And today, they are fully on board. Not only that, the GKONEAN Association, they are fully on board. We went as far as the Grenadier Association. We went in the Grenadier Association, asked one of their leaders to serve as our chaplain. She willingly accepted. Sister Grace Bodo, she currently serves with us. But not only that, we decided to engage into the membership drive. The membership drive was to ensure that we got members. Today, through our administration, we're able to register more than 450 Liberian people today. When we took over, President Lester Myers turned over 2,000 and change to us. Today, in our account, we have 18,000. But not only that, folks.
Please don't clap.
Not only that, folks.
Please.
Not only that, folks. We also decided that we embark on a journey unite.
Your 2 minutes up, we'll give you 30 seconds, please.
We embark on a journey to unite our people. So what we decided to do, in as much that we were critical, because as president, you got to be able to link Arizona to the rest of the world. We registered Arizona with ULA, the Liberian Association, the Liberian Union Association in Americas. But we also turned around, we wrote the ambassador, who was a seditious at the time. We wrote Jefferson Koji, who was a seditious at the time, just so we ensure that Liberia was on the map. I want to present it as evidence.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Bolley. The moderator have a follow-up question, please. The moderator have a follow-up question, please. Yeah, please. So, Mr. Bolley, can you clearly tell Liberian people what did you achieve in the last 2 years and why should they give you a second chance? Please.
Thank you so much. Among some of the things that are named that we achieved, one of the things that we achieved is to bring all Liberians together in one place. The chat room, where we are insulted daily and accused daily. Our administration opened that chat room where Liberians can publish whether you have a wedding, someone passed away from you, Liberians are able to connect and reunite. But not only that, folks, one of the things we did that brought us the name of Liberian Association on board, we went to ULA. We went for the very first time to their convention. Guess what? We won Miss ULA in Americas. So at that also, what we did as an administration.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Thank you.
can I
We have a follow-up question.
Mr. Moderator, our people are here, to get the facts, right? And to leave this place very informed.
Thank you.
So I just want an opportunity to just briefly respond to some of the things the President.
And that's why I'm giving you the opportunity to do that right now.
I appreciate
I'll give you a 30-second opportunity to do that.
Good, thank you.
All right.
So if you listen to the President, so the President achievement, the reason why 4 years ago, are you guys hearing me? Yeah. The reason why 4 years ago he contested against Lester Morris, he did not win. He attended he attended 3 meetings in 2 years. He abandoned the Liberian Association. 2 years after he came, he contested, he went on a post, was to establish a WhatsApp group chat. That's his achievement he just told you. He established a WhatsApp group chat. That is his achievement. He told you that he called the Madigopo to come to a meeting. That is his achievement of unifying the Liberian community.
Thank you, Mr.
There's no record of any meeting that has over 50 members ever under Steve's administration.
Thank you.
Come on.
Thank you.
Your story is not a joke. Let's be serious here, Mr. President.
Thank you. Bolley, I have a question in follow-up to what you said. You did state that 400 plus Liberians, you brought the community together. We have 400 plus registered Liberians. Now, it can be said that the report that was turned in yesterday by the board chair, right, it has that 440 something number of Liberians registered for 2024. It's unfair to say all of that would be attributed to your leadership because this is a campaign and other people were involved in getting these members to register or to be eligible to vote in this. What do you have to say?
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, put your hand on, sorry.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I think to the moderator, Tamara, I think that's a very, very good question. Timandra is a very good question. But here is something that we must understand. Until the 20th of this month, which is next week Saturday, when there is an opportunity given us or given to another person, we are still in leadership. This is not mutually exclusive. The bowl works with us. We work with the bowl. We are still working together. We are not divided. So our administration, in our time, it is also fair. It is accurate that we take credit for whatever happened on our administration. If we can take the backlash, we should also be able to take the credit.
Thank you, Mr. Bolley. I would push back on that to say you're not going to take credit for this because the board was responsible for the LAA. So we need to be honest about what we tell our people so that way we all have a clear understanding. Before these elections, you turn everything about your administration over to the board. Up until 11:59, a few days ago, we had people registering. So by then, you were not in charge of the LA, the board was.
Can I
so
let's,
no, sorry, Mr. Konya. So let's just agree that it's unfair or it's fair to say everybody contributed for the betterment of the community.
Well, gentlemen, we're going to move on. Next question, gentlemen, we're going to move on. Our next question is, what is the purpose of the executive committee, of which both of you, if elected, will be heading that committee?
Yeah, so
Mr. Harris, you want to go first?
yeah, well,
Okay.
is this working?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so before I answer that question,
Go ahead.
when the president, when his executive committee turned over the administrative and financial records and authority to the board, you did not register more than 15 members. You turned over anywhere between 41 to 49 members. So to say 400, you're misinforming the public. The financial record, you did not turn over 18,000 to the board. You turned over $5,790. The report is here, was published by the board. The additional funds were funds that were received when the board served as the administrator of the association. So that was another misinformation. To answer your question, the executive committee is the administrative arm of the association. So the executive committee basically runs the day-to-day activities of the association. It's headed by the president, the vice president, the secretary general, and the financial secretary. They have a responsibility to fill outstanding committees, give the committees responsibility to implement the constitutional rule of the association.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mr. Bolley, you next.
All right, we are back, and I have one of the persons that will be participating, monitoring or doing a lot of work for our debate tonight. So I will allow him to introduce himself, and he will let us know what to expect tonight from both candidates.
Good evening. My name is Pastor Ed Cooper. I am the Election Commission Chairperson. We will be conducting the elections for the Liberian community here in Phoenix, Arizona. Tonight is the presidential debate. We look forward to the two candidates that are contesting this president's post. Will be engaging each other to tell the Liberian people the way forward for our community. So it's going to be a spirited conversation, spirited discussion tonight, and we look forward to hearing from both candidates.
Thank you very, very much. How long do we expect to be here tonight?
We're looking at 2 hours to 2 hours, 50 minutes.
Thank you very much. So, Pastor, can you give the address to where the debate is taking place?
Yes, we are here. The venue of the debate is at 7025 North 55th Avenue here in Glendale.
Thank you for, are you the pastor of this church?
No, I am not the pastor of the church. We asked the pastor of this church to use his facility.
Thank you. And what's the name of the church?
The church is called Mount Zion Prayer Ministries.
Thank you very much. I look forward to see you guys in there.
Thank you.
All right, people, let's go in there to see what's going to happen, okay? Mr. Boly TV. Can you introduce yourself to the people? You said you're commissioned, right? On the...
I'm the co-chair.
The co-chair on what?
Of the election commission.
Okay, so what do we expect tonight? First, introduce yourself,
First of all, my name is Vakaba. I'm the co-chair.
Vakaba who?
Vakaba Sise. I'm the co-chair of the election commission of the Liberian Association of Arizona. And today, it's just nothing but the candidates selling themselves to the people, what they got to offer to the Liberian people in the community. So the Liberian people are coming to listen to them, ask me questions, and see what they can do differently to get our community vibrant and make it more productive. Especially for our kids that are coming up in future, what do we have for them?
Okay, when you say the Liberian people are coming to see what they can do differently, are you talking about the current leadership, what they can do differently, or the people who challenge the current leadership, what they can do differently?
Well, both sides. Because the current leadership can say, we have done this, and we fall short of this, and maybe the next time, if you guys give us a chance, we're going to do this. And then the other side can say, well, the current leadership did not do this, we are about to bring this to the board. On board to make sure that the Liberian community is vibrant. So either way, as a commissioner, I have no side, but my side is Liberian, and I just want my community to be okay.
Quickly, you have 5 minutes to introduce yourself, and we have 2 minutes for questions, and we have 30 minutes for rebuttal. Thank you. Gentlemen, let's go ahead.
30 seconds.
30 seconds, sorry, 30 seconds. So we'll start with Mr. Boly.
Well, good afternoon. First of all, I'd like to start off by thanking every one of you for taking up time of your busy schedules to be here this afternoon for this debate. It is very exciting. It is a good thing, and I say congratulations to you for being part of your community, for making your voices heard, and for even taking the time to be here, because some of you could have been at work, some of you could have been taking care of your children or doing other things, but you are here today. It shows that you care about our community. My name is Steve Boly. I've lived in Arizona for about maybe 12 to 15 years. I originally came from Philadelphia, and I landed in Tucson. I lived in Tucson for about 2 years and a half, and I moved to Phoenix. And since then, Phoenix has been home for me. Phoenix gave me 3 children. In Phoenix, I got married as well. So I'm very appreciative of the Liberian community. I'm very appreciative of the people of Phoenix. From a professional standpoint, I am a psychologist. I try not to talk about it. I'm very, I would say, I don't want to use the word shy, but I don't talk about it. A doctorate degree from GKONEAN University in general psychology with emphasis in industrial and organizational psychology. I also have a master's degree, and this master's degree has to do with professional counseling and psychology. I also have a bachelor's degree in religion, world religion, and I also have another degree where is a master's degree where I did Christian studies. As a leader, I have served in different capacities on different boards in and out of Arizona, even in Liberia. I serve on different boards. I've also served on different committees in and out of Arizona. At work currently, I'm an instructor at GKONEAN University. I teach mental health and psychology online for GKONEAN University for a master's program. At work also, I'm one of the senior behavioral counselors for general mental health. I'm a leader, I'm a father, I'm a parent, I'm a husband, I'm a brother, I'm a son, and I am a servant. I want to say thank you so much for being here. This is who I am, above all. Thank God. Happy New Year to every one of you.
You can go, sir. You next.
Thank you. Okay, let me also join the president to appreciate the opportunity to be here today. Mr. President, thanks for showing up. To the board of directors, the honorable elections commissioners, the moderating team, fellow members of the committee, ladies and gentlemen. It's an opportunity to be here. My name is Harry GKONEAN. My father's father hailed from Sandra County. His mother hailed from Grand Gila County. My mother's parents come from Maryland County. I have one daughter. She's 8 years old. She thinks she's 20 though. Yeah. Her mother comes from Grand Gila County as well. I hold a Bachelor of Science degree in economics from the University of Liberia. While at the University of Liberia, I've had an opportunity to serve in several leadership roles, from the Student Unification Party to the University of Liberia Students Union. There, I represented over 20,000 university students to the University Council as Secretary General of the Student Government, as Student Representative to the University Council, and as Acting President of the University of Liberia Students Union. When I graduated from the university, I became Vice President of the Liberia National Students Union, LNSU. LNSU is the umbrella student organization for all the students in Liberia. So at LNSU, we advocated for the rights, the hopes and aspirations of Liberian students. I relocated to Arizona over 10 years ago. That was in 2014. About 10 years ago, 2014. I went to the Thunderbird School of Global Management at the Arizona State University. I got my first master's degree in international business, global management. At Thunderbird, I served as president of the African Business Club, and that is equated to the African Student Association at Thunderbird School of Global Management. I got my second master's degree from the Grand Canyon University, Masters in Organizational Leadership. Grand Canyon University, where the president teaches. I just got to know today though. But yeah, I got my second master's from there. I did some reading, postgraduate studies in psychology. My emphasis has been in applied behavioral analysis. So I tried to understand why people behave the way they behave. And understanding that, you can be able to modify human behavior. I'm also doing my third master's degree in clinical mental health counseling. I'm an entrepreneur. I do run businesses here in Arizona. I'm currently running for president of the Liberian Association of Arizona for two reasons. One, I believed that President Steve failed to deliver on his promises to the Liberian people, to the Liberian community. I believe so strongly that he did not take his responsibility seriously as president, and that is the reason why we are here today. I also strongly believe that I have the right expertise, I have the right experience, I have the right history of leadership, and I'm the only candidate here who has a detailed plan on what exactly I want to do on day number one, when I become president of the Liberian Association. Throughout this conversation today, I will show to you that Steve did extremely nothing, absolutely nothing, to perform his responsibility And I ask you to answer one question at the end of this conversation. One single question. And the question is, does Steve Boley deserve a second term? And I can assure you, you will leave this place with one answer: no. Steve does not deserve a second term. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, so we got one of the moderators for tonight here that will be on Bollietv. So right now, I'm going to tell her that she's going to introduce herself. What information do I need?
You need information. There's 2 moderators.
I got one here.
Okay.
So I'm going to talk to this one and find the next one. So I'm going to show her here so she can introduce her. I think she's a little bit TV shy. I say you want to tell her. So I'm going to show her to her so she can introduce herself, and so she can get a little hints of what we should expect tonight. So here you go, our beautiful Liberian sister. Can you introduce yourself to my people, the crowd, please, and let us know what you'll be doing tonight, please.
Hi everyone, my name is Timandra Siabonge. I'm here to moderate, or I'm one of the moderators of the 2024 LAA, the Liberian Association of Arizona presidential debate. Today we're looking to have an intriguing night because we're looking to ask all the hard questions to those that want to lead us, whoever it may be. We're looking to read through the plans and critique the plans, so definitely the hard questions will come out.
Okay, so when you say hard question, what the question will be about? What are some of the questions? How many categories we're talking about?
It's unfortunate that I can't divulge that right now.
But none of the candidates around.
Yeah, during the debate, you will be opportune to, hear these questions. I can't put them out there, but I'm telling you, they're going to be good because we're not asking soft questions. We want to know the people that intend to lead us. We want to know what their plans are and how they intend to carry out these plans.
So how many questions are we expecting for you guys to ask each candidate? Is there a set amount of questions?
No, we do not have a specific number of questions to ask each candidate because we don't want to put ourselves in a little box. We want to be open and we want to move on as the conversation goes, on. So we're gonna be good.
All right, thank you so much for joining us here tonight. I look forward to seeing you in there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was well said. Okay, gentlemen, let's get started. We heard all the introductions and all your achievement and academic achievement. So question number 1. Why do you think you are the best candidate to lead this community for the next 2 years? And can you tell us as a people, all what you said, your educational background, how is it going to filter into you being a good leader for our community? Gentlemen, either one can go first, please.
Okay, I can start.
Thank you.
So I will respond to that question in twofold.
Thank you.
And like I said, 2 years ago, Steve was given an opportunity to lead this community. He made promises. We have a constitution that spelled out his constitutional responsibility as president. Steve did not take the job seriously. He did not perform. He failed to deliver on those promises. I don't believe that he should be given an opportunity to lead this association. The second reason, I believe, like I just explained to you, I have a history of leadership. Everywhere I served, I've left a legacy of achievements. I have a plan that's workable. I have a plan with timeline that showed exactly what I intend to do to unify our people, to transform this community, and to deliver on the promises that are specified in our Constitution and all my responsibility as president of the association. Thank you.
I'll be talking to a friend of mine, a brother, who is going to be playing some of the important roles in tonight's debate, and as we get prepared. But I'm here tonight, and the people of Arizona will listen to the current leader and the man that will be challenging him to take his office from him. But before we get started, I'm about to go in there and everything is going to commence. So in a few minutes, I'll be talking to my brother here. He will introduce himself, and he will basically tell us what's going on. All right. As I said, my brother, you can introduce yourself to the people before we can proceed with a few questions, because I know you got a lot of work to do.
Yeah, hi. My name is Ahmed Kamara. I'm the lead moderator for the debate tonight.
Thank you, Mr. Kamara. So what type of questions are we expecting to hear from you guys? I mean, not to go into the details of the question, but just some of the things you think the audience would love to hear from you guys tonight.
Yeah, we will be asking questions to our candidates on how they plan to move our community forward based on their leadership experience and what they bring to the table. So there'll be a vast range of questions in different areas, and we'll also give the committee time to they'll have the opportunity to ask questions as well.
And how long are we planning to be on here tonight?
The debate is going to be 2 hours, and it's going to be in 2 different sections. Section 1 will be 1 hour, section 2 will be the 2nd hour.
And what is section will it be about, like community service, or what are the questions that will be on those sections?
Yeah, I beg not to give out the information now, but like I said, it's 2 sections, and the first 1 hour, and we'll have the second 1 hour.
All right, thank you, Mr. Kamara.
Only one box. If you are voting for Team Harry, check the box that is in front of Team Harry. If you are voting for Team Steve, check the box that is in front of Team Steve. Again, if you mark both boxes, that is an invalid vote. Thank you. When you are marking your ballot paper, please make sure your mark stays in the box that you are checking. If the pen crosses into the other box, that is an invalid vote. So make sure when you are voting for Team Harry, your mark stays in the box that is in front of Team Harry. If you are voting for Team Steve, make sure your pen doesn't cross the line into Team Harry. If you do that, that ballot will be considered an invalid vote. Yes, sir.
My question, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
Does it matter the ID is expired? No, it's a legitimate question. It's a legitimate question. Does it matter?
No, it shouldn't matter.
Oh, yeah.
The answer, Mr. Monroe, the answer is no. In as much as the name on the ID matches the name on our roster, in as much as your face on the ID, the picture on the ID is what we are looking at, that's okay.
Doesn't matter, you have to be a personal resident or you don't have to.
No, it doesn't matter.
When it comes to...
Listen, these are legitimate questions.
Okay.
So let it wrap up.
Yeah, let me address that, please. Let me address that. There is no such thing, as a dumb question. Okay? There's no such thing. So to answer your question, when I say we, I'm talking about the Election Commission. The Election Commission is not responsible to identify who is qualified to vote and who is not. That has already been done. The list that is presented to us, once that list is presented to us, that indicates to us that everybody on that list is qualified.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you. At this time, we'll take a 10 to 15 minutes break, and we'll come back and convene for our next hour. Thank you.
How do you stop it?
So right now, we have to go around now to see if we're gonna get people reaction. So we have to go around. We're on a break now. We have to get people reaction now. So my man, Kyle. So what do you think about the debate so far? We need some reaction.
So far, I'm kind of being very. It's very challenging though. It's very challenging, and Our two candidates are doing their very prepared for this debate, and so far we don't want to analyze right now from.
Okay, but we still got to ask you. Excuse me. What do you think now? We're getting reactions now. What do you think about the debate so far?
The debate is going so well, and I like the way it's going. People are showing to us that they are ready to serve us, and I'm looking forward to the election, and I know the best winner going to win, and we're all going to work with our leader and be able to go about in our community and make our community be #1 in Arizona.
Thank you.
My name is John La Sala.
Thank you. So as you can see, I'm getting reactions from people, and we got one of the people reactions so far to see how the debate is going so far. So, okay. Look, gentlemen, I want to question, how you guys think the debate going so far?
I think the debate is perfect.
So, right now, who you think who wins this debate?
No, you see, let me tell you one thing.
I believe that Steve is doing well.
Oh no, the man's making me say.
Organized, arguing with maturity, and I believe he will take the lead.
Let me tell you one thing.
So what do you think?
Yeah, I will tell you to wake up. You know,
so you think that Steve is not doing what? No,
listen. The question here is about when we asking Steve, what have you done? Nothing. You know, I'm not too close with the both of them. But based on what they have explained, definitely Steve I already lose the election.
So you think Steve got a loss, or you think that this debate, Harry is winning?
But nothing sound as Steve said here.
You don't deny?
Nothing.
We're getting reaction.
No,
reaction.
I just Steve lose the election already.
My brother. The man talk.
We need some reactions. Pastor Tua, what do you think about the debate so far?
Yeah, you know, the two candidates are doing very well. You know, they are proving their skill, and I think it will give the Liberian people the opportunity to make the right choice. So thank you very much.
Thank you too. Mr. Robin Tapper. Your reaction, what do you think?
Yeah, I think this debate is mostly about character and performance, but we'll leave it up to them to see where to take it.
So let me ask you, do you think anybody is leading down in the debate?
Yeah, I think Harris seems to be more organized and more towards answering the point than the incumbent.
So you think still not going? Can I get a reaction? What do you think about the debate so far?
You know what? I just learned that you don't write your name, and actually I've been working at having been kind of focused on the name thing. I never wrote my name, and I'm a little hurried. I just went to the moderator to ask if I can talk. She said, well, we'll see what we can do. Because there are a lot of things going on that we're hearing, we need clarity and we need to ask questions.
So for the both candidates answering questions from the audience and the rebutting each other, who do you think doing well so far?
Well, you know what? I think Harris is beating this thing.
Harris? All right, so everybody say Harris right now.
I don't even know who I'm voting for first, but I know that Harris is kicking it up because he's bringing the thing up, and there are, you know, when you are doing this, you gotta be careful when you speak. Everything you speak, we take it into account.
That is correct.
And you had just spoken about that whole $18,000, and it came down, and Harris just kind of reviewed that, and you got no.
Well, according to the moderator, the law is that you can rebuttal.
Here we go now. When Harris said that, and he came back to reverse that, and then when he came back and said 6,000, he said 5,000 and 1,000. So where's the rest of the $12,000? That's what we need to speak.
According to Steve, he said he took all 18,000.
Yeah, but then after Harris said no, it was 5,000, and then he added one more 1,000 there, and then I was 6,000, right? We're still waiting to understand where the 12,000 went. So who has the money?
So you think Harris is winning the debate so far?
I think he is.
Okay,
I'm not even thinking. I believe he is. From where
you think that will lead? You think based on the performance that will lead to him winning the election?
It doesn't mean, but at least we are getting to know things that we did not know because there has not been. I cannot monitor the online thing on WhatsApp. I've never heard about money, and unless when I heard that people should show how much money they got. And nobody had ever put the money out. It just came on the debate that 18,000 was given, and it actually came down to 6,000. So I actually want to know where the balance 12,000 is. So I just talked to the moderator. Hope they give me the chance to answer the question because I actually want to know the rest of the 12,000. Where is it now? Who has it?
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
So my brother, What do you think? You won't answer the question, you answer that debate. It's just a simple question. What do you think about the debate so far?
But the debate is one way, right?
What do you mean it's one way?
Steve is winning the debate. And
so you think, Steve is winning?
Steve is going to win the re-election.
It's not about the re-election now. Who do you think convincing the people here? Who do you think winning this debate?
So, Steve is speaking of facts. These are evidence that he's giving to the moderators. Harris, on the other hand, just attacking.
Okay, so you believe that Harris is not presenting facts?
Harris is not presenting no facts.
And you think that Steve is the one who presented the facts, and because of that, Steve is leading the debate?
You can see that everything he said, he bring a copy of the evidence and give it to the moderator.
But, okay, let me ask you, we see him getting paperwork to the moderators, right?
Right.
But does that convince the audience that he actually gave me factual information? Because for one time, Steve said he presented $18,000, right? He turned it over. And then he came back and said 6, and then, went to 5 and 6. So, how many documentation on that financial report? Because I heard it.
That was clarified. Steve never said he presented
18,000.
He did not say he presented.
Turn over 18,000. He never said that.
Not turned over either.
Oh, okay.
He said 18,000 was generated under his administration. Harry said Steve gave 5,000. Okay. When Steve put the record together, it was actually 6,000 plus that they gave to the.
And not 18,000.
No, the one they gave in cash, right? Cash and money order.
But it was not still 18,000.
It was not also 5,000.
Well, Steve,
it was not 5,000.
Well, okay, well, we agree. It was not 5,000.
Okay.
It later went to 6,000 something.
Right. So,
but it was not 18,000 either. Right?
Some of these.
Thank you. I'm just playing the devil advocate. So we have to go to other people now.
No, don't do that.
You can't take the whole time now. You said your man said 18,000, but he presented paperwork, but he came out with 6,000. So you say, yeah. So, Mama, you are guest here from Texas, Mr. Opa Logan. What do you think about this debate so far?
The incumbent did not demonstrate that he can hold the office.
That's our opinion. Mr. Lawrence, what do you think about the debate so far?
The debate is very good, but so far, the incumbent is not making points.
I agree.
He's not making the points. The guy is sticking to him to the point, and the incumbent is not telling us a next plan of action and what he did to convince us. So that's the only problem that we have. Steve is being nervous to debate the real act.
My name is Lester Myers, President Emeritus of the Liberian Association of Arizona. To both of the candidates, what outcome measures, what measure are you going to use to show your success of the Liberian Association? That is my question. How are you going to measure success under your leadership for the benefit of the Liberian Association? Thank you. I would like Mr. Bolley to please answer that question first.
Thank you, President Myers.
Back to Mr. Steve Boyle, the current president.
Thank you, President Myers. One of the successes, one of the measures that we will use is the fact that we are seated here today. Not only that we follow the Constitution to constitute this body, the election commissions, they are here today. One of the successes also is the fact that under our administration, we were able to attract different Liberians from different walks of life, whether from Utah, whether from Las Vegas, whether from Tucson, whether from Phoenix, whether from Mesa. Every part of this city, all Liberians are aware of the reawakening of the Liberian Association. Individually, people felt the impact of our presence, whether that was to party, wedding, anything that was happening. We were present, we showed our support, and we did what we had to do as an association, and we will continue to do that. Thank you.
Mr. Coney?
Hey, let's be a little serious here. You became president of the Liberian Association, so people from Nevada should know you president, should go to party. Is that why you became? Is that why you want to be president? It's been 2 years. You can't It's been 2 years. You can show your practical achievements. You are all members of the association. The truth is that you don't know his achievements. You read them.
I'm sorry, the question wasn't about his achievement, it was about how you're going to measure.
I'm sorry.
So that's, you're operating on
1 second.
How do you measure your leadership? That's your success.
Madam Moderator, you gave me 2 minutes. I decide what I say in the 2 minutes.
No.
Madam Moderator.
All right, go ahead, sir. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead, please.
So let me clarify.
Yeah, go ahead.
I can use 1 minute to respond.
Go ahead.
I can use 1 minute to answer my question.
Go ahead, go ahead. Go ahead, please. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead, sir.
Did you stop the time?
Go ahead, I'll add more time. Go ahead, sir.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So remember I said I came here for 2 things. To show that Steve actually failed. Steve did not perform in the last 2 years. That's what I'm here to show that. That's why you are here for the debate. I would not have been contesting against him if he did perform. So you don't want me to talk about the fact that he has nothing to measure his achievement in the last 2 years? And you want to stop me because of that? Now, I do have a detailed plan. I have a 30 days plan, I have a 90 days plan, I have 150 days, I have a 1 year, 2 years. I said exactly what I'm going to do in 30 days. I'm going to launch a fully functional website. In 30 days, if a website is not launched for the Liberian Association, I'm a failure. I have a detail going to be distributed to our membership. You will see all of our programs, what we intend to do. It's right here. I'm not going to say because you come here, it's going to be an achievement for me. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. We're going to make a follow-up on the question. And I think the question was not answered from both of you.
No, I answered.
So the question is, how do you measure your success? I got that. Fine.
And I told you.
I'm coming, sir. Sir, I'm coming, sir. I'm coming. I know you talk about what the next person didn't do. Now, can you tell us as Liberians, what are you going to do to measure your success in 30 seconds, please? Both of you.
Mr. Warrior, did you hear something different? I told you my success is measured by the implementation of my plan.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Let me tell you a second.
Go ahead.
Wait. I told you in 30 days, the website is going to be launched. If a website is launched, that's achievement. If it's not launched, that's a failure. I told you I'm going to launch an act called Benevolent Committee. If it's launched in 30 days, that's a success. If it's not, it's a failure.
Thank you.
So that's a measurement of my success.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir. Thank you. This is Steve. This is Steve. This is Steve. Go ahead.
Thank you. When we started the conversation initially, we provided the moderators here our plan, what we had to do in the 2 years. And we achieved these plans. As evidenced by that, today the membership draft on one of our plans is not only booming, but it's up there. The membership draft has skyrocketed. That's something we said we would have done. Also, as evidenced by that, we said we will start the process of uniting our community. Uniting the community will not take place in 2 years. Please don't get it wrong. It takes time, it takes work, it takes efforts. And so we started the process by bringing on board other organizations that were not even wanting to be part of the Liberian Association. We did that. But not only that, we went as far as pushing the agenda of Arizona outside of Arizona. That's how we got Utah and Las Vegas to join us here in our July 26th celebration, for which my counterpart is taking credit for.
Thank you, Mr. Boley. Thank you.
Can I have 30 seconds?
No,
According to the old rules, you have 30 seconds to rebuttal. So if the message you have 30 seconds, you give it to him. So that's their rules.
Next on the list, we have Mr. Prince L. Murray for question.
What's your name? Prince L. Murray. Yeah. Hey, my brother, what's up? Okay, hello, can you guys hear me? Okay. Sorry. Well, please, guys. Okay.
Well, I know it's a question, but I have to give a statement. As a former official, I think I have to give a statement before I ask my question. Regular order, I understand that.
Only a minute, sir.
Yeah, regular order. Okay.
Only a minute.
So,
thank you.
Only
a minute, sir. Thank you.
Regular order. Okay, hold on. Okay. Well, first, okay, I'll make a statement. Well, first of all, I want to say thank you so much to all of you guys for being here. And Mr. Steve Boley, Mr. President, thank you for being here. And also Mr. Harry. Well, I want to say thank you so much. Congratulations for challenging the incumbent. This election is a very consequential election in the history of the Liberian community. Because I don't have enough time, I'm just going to ask my question real quick. And the question is for Harry. Your opponent, Steve Boley, since he was elected president of the Liberian Association of Arizona, he spent most of his time on social media attacking political candidates, participating in partisan politics, and many of you know the Liberian Association is a non-partisan institution. So if you're elected, are you going to engage in the same behavior as your opponent, or are you going to do something different? If yes, tell me why it's so important for the organizations to stay neutral. That's the question.
Right on schedule. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Beautiful question. Beautiful
And thank you, Mr. President, emeritus of the youth. Hello. So, can you hear me? So, hello. So, not only is Steve violating critical constitutional provision by having a political side and using his office and propagating political perspective, but Steve is also creating impediments to the success of the Liberian Association. Now, how is he doing that? As president, you serve as the liaison between the Liberian Association and external bodies, such as the government of Liberia. And if you own a talk show, podcast, every day condemning and they're abusing the current administration or the incoming administration in the country, how then do you expect to have a cordial working relationship? How then do you expect that the Liberian Association benefit under your leadership from a cordial relationship with the government in Liberia? So you also violating the Constitution, but you deny us an opportunity to have a cordial working relationship with the government back home.
Thank you, Mr. Coney. Can you refer us to that part of the Constitution?
Oh, sure. Go to...
What would he do different?
What part of the Constitution?
Sir, I did not memorize it, but
You have to put some thought to it.
Okay, while Mr. Coney is looking for that part of the Constitution, we're going to get...
Can I have a 30 seconds?
Yes, go ahead, sir.
Because I was hugely criticized, called out. I think it's fair for us to bring this out. Remember I told you from the get-go, if some of you follow President Barack Obama, he used a famous quote that we can walk and chew gum. That's true, we can do that. As evidenced by that, we will criticize when there are atrocities, when children are being raped, when people are being killed. You don't have to be in Labrador to criticize them. It doesn't restrict us. If we put our voices out there so that our children, our family member, for a safe and secure government, I don't think that's anything dangerous or violating the Constitution. Here's the last part. Here's the last part. Even when we criticized the CDC-led government, guess what we did? We invited the ambassador in DC to be our keynote speaker.
I'd like to introduce to you Miss Emily Lagarde. Emily is from Africa. She's from East Africa. She's from Kenya. She lives here in Arizona. and Emily is running for governor for the state of Arizona. So you will see Emily in our community. She will come to speak to us. I just thought to introduce her today, but you will see her coming around to talk to each of you or to talk to us collectively. So these are the Liberians in our community that I told you about.
Thank you. No, please, no, sir. Hold on, sir. Thank you. Okay, gentlemen, we are doing a great job so far. You guys are doing a great job, actually. You are doing a great job. So we need to keep going fast, okay? And also want to let you know, we as moderator can inject. Okay, we can inject, you know, and we can also ask you to hold on your talk for a few seconds. Let's move on. Let's move on. Our next question here is, so we talk about Constitution. We are on Constitution conversation. I want to know, the Liberian people want to know, what do you think about the current Constitution? Okay? And do you think there should be any amendment done? And if so, what section and why? Do you think the Constitution is working well for Liberian people? Do you think we should make some changes to the Constitution? And if so, why and where?
Do you want me to start?
Yeah, go ahead, sir. Thank you.
I've realized that there is a need for some serious constitutional amendments. One, there's duplication in the responsibility of the social committee and the education and cultural committee. Correct. So the social committee is also required to organize cultural activities, which is also the function of the education and cultural committee. That's one. Another concern is the need to include places like 2-zone. I think we should not leave those cities far away from Phoenix to the will and pleasure of the executive committee to decide on how we engage them. I believe so strongly we must include in the Constitution a way to have cities like 2-zone represented either on the board or on the executive committee. Also, the youth. We've been talking about the need to have the active participation of young people in the activities of the association. I believe so strongly that we need to ensure that the youth have an independent body. We are Liberians, we're cultural people. Our kids will not come to a meeting with us to disagree with us, to argue with us and stuff, but they're not going to do that. So we have to be able to have an independent youth body that institutionalizes what the youth want to be engaged into. But that body will be under the executive committee. And I recommend that. I know that the Nestor Myers leadership was doing something like that. We're called the Youth Leadership Council Executive Board. Yes, they have an independent body. So that's one of the things I think we need to do. I also believe that we need to have what we call a programming and implementation committee. That committee will be under the executive committee, where your work is to work with all of the other standing committees to help them implement programs and activities. I have a lot more, but you know, we'll talk more about it.
Thank you. Mr. Bolley, same question.
Well, I think that's one of the things we've ran on, constitutional amendment. The Constitution, in some areas, they are a little vague. In other words, they're not too clear. But one of the most important things that during our 2-year period, one of the most important things that we've heard from Liberians all around, because we listen to those people who compliment us, those people who also criticize us. One of the things we heard from almost all Liberians, what is the Liberian Association doing for us? That has been one of the things that has been on my mind. Let me tell you today, what thing we can do for the Liberian Association to do something for you. So what we want to do this time around, we want to make sure that the Constitution is amended to give Liberian people incentives. In other words, give you benefit for being part of this association. You can't be paying your $20, $10 every day. You not get no benefit for it. It will make it, you will not even be attracted to the Liberian Association. Let's be honest. That is the reason why some people stay away. Because there is no benefit, there is no incentive. So what we have taught to recognize, or what we have taught to recommend, is to ensure, first thing we told you, When we institute due payment, for example, if we institute due payment, that due payment, once you are a member, let's say if we have an event, that $20 go inside, you get a discount, you get $15 or $10. We start small. Another thing we also need to do in the Constitution we want to do, I say this over and over, we talk about the issue of burial. I have been to different families while they are crying, they are worried about raising $20,000-$25,000 to bury their family member. When we have decided that we want to secure a plaque or a lot for the Liberian Association, if you pay your $20 every month, that's the money we use someone. When something happens to somebody in our community, we'll pay for that lot monthly so that it can help with the burial processes. This is critically important. We want to ensure that the Liberian people get incentive. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Can I
Thank you.
go follow up, please?
Yeah, go follow. 30 seconds. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So the Constitution already provides an opportunity for due payment. Steve, if you were organizing programs and activity, if you're organizing quarterly or annual awards program, if you were organizing Unity Sports Tournament, if you are having immigration services, business development, financial literacy programs, these are incentives that Liberians, members of the association, benefit from. So already the Constitution provides incentive. All we need to do is to do our job. Is to organize these programs and activities. Liberians will benefit. The youth membership program will benefit.
Thank you.
You don't need to pay people for being members of the
Thank you,
association.
sir. So, do you want to respond?
Yes,
30 seconds.
30 seconds.
10 seconds, please.
So, folks, I will try not to gauge into the back and forth, but I'll also provide you clarity and context. The truth of the matter is, the Constitution is not even clear on if somebody died from somebody, how much you will get them. It's not even clear. Secondly, the due payment, the Constitution is not even clear between due payment and registration. It's not even clear. It's still confusing. And that's why I said the Constitution is vague. In other words, it's not clear. We must revisit it to be clear enough so that it is stated, then we can follow it. We can just make shift of it.
Thank you. Mr. President, I have a follow-up. Mr. President, I have a follow-up. You've been president for 2 years. Is that correct? And if you believe that the Constitution has some unclarity in the Constitution, what did you do as a president to make efforts to make sure the Constitution is clear and working for everybody? 30 seconds, please.
Thank you. I think that's a good question. It's a fair question. When we took over, we left the Constitution as it was. What we did was not to undermine the Constitution, but work in confines as human beings. So let's take, for example, we proposed a couple of times in our meetings to have a constitutional reform. We did that to the general body, but that's not how it works. You don't just come and say, you got to organize a committee to have a constitutional reform. And because we were getting closer to election, while dealing with other things, if we had done anything to the Constitution, you know what they would have said today? They would say they change the Constitution so they can stay there.
Thank you very much. Gentlemen, quickly, before we move on, we got to move on. Quickly, we're out of time. Quickly. Do you both agree that the Constitution needs to be amended? Do you both agree to that?
Yes, most definitely, I agree.
Or some areas of the Constitution need to be amended?
Yes, I agree.
Do you both agree to that? Quickly.
Let me answer the question, okay?
Yes, sir, you already answered this question.
Yes or no?
Yes or no, please. Do you believe that?
I thought I responded to that earlier.
Yeah, I'm asking a direct question. Do you both believe that there's a need to amend the Constitution in areas?
When I provided those provisions that I think should be, that's what I was doing.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Yeah. Let's move on. My next question is, what is the most important attribute of a successful leader? I'm going to ask two in one, so you have the time to answer both of them. Okay, the second question is, for many years now as Liberians, we have been hoping to have a community center. Can you both tell us, Mr. President and Brother Harris are coming in, what will you do to ensure that Liberians have a community center? Thank you. Mr. President, can you go first, please?
Thank you for that question. So, the first question, the first part of your question, like I said earlier, I agree there has to be constitutional amendment. Now, in the second part, what have we done? What we have done is we have written 90% of a proposal. Please, this is very, 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 very important for you to understand. we met with the Haitian community. And the Haitian community wrote a proposal to the state. And in that proposal, the Haitian community got a certain amount of money. It is doable. I wrote a proposal so I know what it is. I know how it works. Cannot lie, cannot they say that you. When we got the proposal, guess what we did? To be transparent, we called all the community leaders. Even Pastor Twe were in our meeting. The board were in our meeting. Even President Lester Meyer was contacted to be part of the committee to write the proposal. We did that. And so far we have written that proposal 90%. What's needed to be done, folks? What's needed to be done? And when I say, when people say community center, we're not just thinking about one little place. No. We want an entire place where we can even, in that proposal, can even have our own party hall. So you don't have to pay 6,000, 7,000 somewhere else. No. You don't have to go and pay for center for youth. No. We want to have it inclusively, included in everything. That's why the proposal was very, very important. So all we need now is to get the location, attach it to the document, and send it out. And we are 100% convinced, based on our relationship with the state government and people in authority we have met with, once that is done, we will get that proposal approved. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So basically, the president took 2 years and he still read to the proposal. That's why he gets our write proposal in 15 days, 30 days. You don't need 2 years to write a grant proposal, people. Come on, stop that. And let's be practical here. You don't need a big hall. Get an office space first. We don't even have an office space, right? Let's get an office space first. Incremental development, step by step. Not because you want to be president. So you say you get a community center, a big place. No, get 4-room office space first. You've not been able to do it in 2 years. Let's be serious now, people. 2 attributes of a good leader: consultative, a leader who don't believe you know all. You reach out, you solicit view, you solicit perspective. That's how you become successful. You allow other people to do the work, and you take the credit as a leader. You just coordinate them. A leader who listens. I think as a leader, I'll be the last to speak. I'm going to listen. Let me just be clear here. At Crew Man, we talk a little fast, so I'm not being emotional. That's just how I talk. I just wanted to say that. This is what I'm going to do. Listen, you guys are all educated people here. Nobody will award a grant, 1 million, 2 million, to an organization that don't have a single program. You don't have a single functional program, and you read a grant and say you want 2 million. Who's going to get that? Nobody's going to do that. So we're going to start the program. We'll get a small space. We'll launch these programs, and incrementally, we'll document them. And when we have sufficient information, we use that and develop a grant proposal. We go to state legislature, we engage state authority and say, these are things we are doing right now. If you give us the bigger space, we want to expand these programs. Then it makes sense. Then we turn to support the program. That's what we're
First of all, I would like you to look into the camera, introduce yourself to my fans and my followers, and we can get started.
Well, hello, audience. My name is Justin Poor. I have lived in Arizona now for like 3 years, and I'm happy to be here. Bollitv, welcome.
Thank you. All right, so you already heard the man. So what we're going to be doing now, we're going to go straight into the question, no delay. Now, first, did you attend the debate this gone Sunday, right?
Definitely, I was there in full.
Okay, thank you. All right, so now we're going to just focus the camera on you. The audience will hear me ask questions, and you just look straight into my camera, and you can speak to the audience. All right? All right, so this is what we're going to start. First of all, are you on the team of any of the candidates, Steve Bolley or Mr. GKONEAN?
I will say officially and definitely say yes. I'm on the team of GKONEAN, and I think he's ready for the job. I'm on it.
What's your role there? What's your specific role on that team?
If I'm not mistaken, I think I'm the senior policy advisor
Are you not sure of your position? Or what?
I am sure, but I mean,
but you say if you're not mistaken, so we don't want to.
Well,
now, okay, so let me ask you. So now that I know you already have a side, how you think your side did during the debate?
I think my side, Harry, did extremely well.
What was one of the moments that you think that Harry did better in? And I mean, let me put it this way. What are some of the areas of questioning that came from the moderators that you think that Harry answered well? And what are some of the areas that you think he did not do well?
Well, I think one of the highlights of the situation that day was when they asked Harry, how can he help in the community and how can he help our youth and whatnot, with the drug infested community, and how can he transform our community? And when you talk about the big brothers and the mentors, us coming in, people that are into mental health, people that have studied mental health that can reform our children and help our children in the community. People that can go into the single family, single mothers' homes and whatnot and help our children.
And to the moderator, some of these things occurred on our watch or while we are still president. It did. One of the first steps we took, like I said, we identify with the family. That is critically important. That is very, very important because we are dealing with human beings. We identify with the people. Not only that we identify with them, we provided the resources needed. Now, the way our Constitution is structured, and some of you might not understand this. If you do one thing for Mary and you don't do the same thing for John, it becomes biased and you are looked at in the community differently. What we are proposing is not only that we've sat and looked at some of these problems, but the truth of the matter is, even in the United States that we live in, the issue of drug is a huge pandemic. And so it's not a one-term fixed thing. Some of these young people are not even interested in the activities that we want to do. They're not.
Thank you.
So what we are proposing, it is realistic, it is factual, it is to get not only the church involved, is to get spiritual leaders involved, is to get parent education, is to provide them the resources,
Thank
and
you.
to direct them to the right places to go. So what?
Next on the list, Mr. Morris B. Bonnie. Again, you only have 1 minute to lay your premise or ask your question. No follow-up. After 1 minute, we're taking our mic. Thank you.
I don't need mine.
No, you need mine. No, you need mine.
Okay, thank you very much. Mr. GKONEAN, thank you very much. You are very much definitive in answering the question and lay down your platform. Thank you very much. Mr. Steve, 2 years ago, you stood in Pastor Church. You took an oath to defend this Magna Carta, the Constitution of the Association. We serve as a compass to direct the affairs of the association. The affair of the association. After 1 month, you tear down, you trample upon this constitution. My question to you, Article 15, Section 2, it says...
Mr. Bonnie, it's about a minute.
Okay.
It's about a minute. So, I did say, you can use 30 seconds to lay your premise and at least 30 seconds.
Okay. So
there's a lot of people.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
So, Section 2 says, all signers on the account of the association should be notified before any money comes out. And all the money you took from the account, my signature was there, but I wasn't in the note. Yes.
Thank you. No, that's not, Mr. Bonnie, we can't do this. We don't want other people to follow what you're doing. That is
question?
I'm disqualified.
Where's the question? Steve can say
It's okay, go ahead.
Okay, hello? Hello? We expect you to come here prepared.
Ask questions.
You wrote your names down. You should have come here prepared with your questions. Okay, please. So we got 15 people. We're gonna move on. If your question is not your question is not well together, we're gonna move on. Thank you very much.
So, Mr. Moderator, the Liberian people are here, and Mr. Vani was the secretary of the board. Can I just clarify something, because people cannot go with this information is not fair.
Yes, Mr. Bolley. Yes.
Thank you. So, folks.
1 minute, Mr. Bolley. Before let the clarification be for the general audience.
Sure.
Mr. Vani is complaining that he didn't end his question. So, with this being said, we might put him all the way to the bottom.
I want to be all the way at the bottom.
Because what he's doing, if every other person takes that route, we're not going to get out of here today. So if he wants to ask his question to you again, we're going to keep it for last. Thank you.
Well, let me clarify this quick, folks. Let me clarify this. Let me clarify this. Folks, all monies, any money that was taken from the Liberian Association account, it had to go through the board of directors. We submitted a budget. As evidenced by that, I brought some budgets. Some of the budget that we submitted that the board approved. Yeah. Thank you.
Good morning, people. How you guys doing today? I hope you guys been enjoying the clips from the debate that I've been putting out, and I hope it's helping you guys to make up your mind to make a decision on the 20th of this month, which will be this coming Saturday, to elect a new leader for the Liberian Association of Arizona, or re-elect the incumbent back to his office. But what is important is that I know you guys heard a lot of things in the debate, and in this coming video, we're going to be clarifying some of those things, because one of the things that Bollitv does is that we fact check things. We're not just going to let people stand there and debate and just throw anything out there. So there were a couple of things that came out in the debate, and those of you who've been following the clips that have been posted on Facebook concerning the debate, you heard each candidate attacking each other. For example, the incumbent and some supporters from the audience, or some supporters from the audience from both sides, were concerned about one of the candidates, Mr. Harry Ator Conian, attendance record. It is allegedly said that, said among them, and that most of the people that were asking, including Mr. Steve Boley, said that Mr. Harry Conian did not even attend more than 4 meetings. And some of the supporters asked Mr. Conian if he should just step aside because he did not attend not even more than 4 meetings, because according to them, the Constitution allegedly said that, or it says that, you must attend every general meeting in order to run for office. We're going to fact check that. Now, the second thing that was discussed while in there, and I heard most of the supporters talking about, was that they were concerned about me. Some supporters in the crowd, the issue about how much was turned over or that they have in the account. Now, I'm going to quote Mr. Steve Boley because I'm doing the editing and I listen to. I tell you guys who already watched some of the clips that are put on Facebook, heard him for himself. Mr. Steve Boley said 3 years ago when he took over, the previous administration turned over about $2,000, I think something dollars to him. Now he has $18,000. They have $18,000 in the account. I have the Wells Fargo bank records. My source was able to provide it to me, the entire records. And also, we're also going to be fact checking because Mr. GKONEAN also attacked Mr. Boley saying that, well, you only turn over on December 20th. When you turn over to the board, you turn over what? I think December 20th, you turn over $5,000 something. Mr. Steve came back with rebuttal said that it was not just $5,000 something. We also deposited $1,000 something. So we're going to be fact checking our bank record. We're going to see how much was turned over to the board on December 20th. I also have the copy of the letter from the board. We're also going to be seeing that. And then some supporters from the audience attacked Steve Boley also too. And this question was actually referred to the challenger, Mr. Harry GKONEAN. If he would behave like Steve Boley, if he would sit on a talk show, attack incoming government, and attack sitting government, because according to them, it's unconstitutional. According to them, the Liberian Association of Arizona Constitution says if you're a sitting Liberian organization president here, you can't do that. We're also going to be fact checking that. I have the Constitution on that. We're going to be highlighting that. So those are the three basic things that we heard in the debate. We must fact check our leaders now. We must start to practice that now. Because if we don't, they can go to Liberia, they think the king now. Or if that woman, she takes she queen. And it's a stealing to all that thing there. Bollitv will bring it to you raw. And going forward, I don't want to be part of it. I don't want any position in any Liberian organization here. I'm just going to be an independent-minded candidate for the people. Anyone win between the two, whether it's Steve Boley or Mr. Harry GKONEAN, every 3 months, Bollietv will go in the community. We must see your work. I will interview the people who elected you, because you are elected by the people and work for the people. I will go in the community. And I will interview, I will not let you know, I will interview your officials. We will be looking for contradictions. We will be looking for your tangibles in the community. We've been in the community too long now. But stay tuned, sit back, enjoy the video. Come over here. So I have my big brother here. He was passionate about his question. Now, I mean, can you introduce yourself to the people before I can even go to the question?
I'm GKONEAN Senior, President of the Liberian community in the Kingdom of Rock, based in Phoenix, Arizona here.
Ah, so you know Prophet Key?
Yeah, I know all those guys.
Okay, so I saw you were passionate when you were asking your question. Now, first of all, let me ask you, how was your rating of the overall debate? Who do you think did good?
To be frank, I don't want to be biased, but if I, in an administration, for 2 years, and I get chemistry, that I know that I'll be able to put in, to impact into the other men that I'm working with. I will make sure that we be transparent, because transparency is the best thing for the Liberian community to be a better one, you know. But I believe that I know Steve is going to get another chance.
So you think Steve is going to win? Even though you are not too certain that he performed well on the debate? Is that what you're saying?
He performed well. When it comes to question, look, to become a leader, because I'm a president for the Liberian community in the Cleveland Rock. To become a leader is not easy. You always get your opponent. To become a leader, my brother, is not easy. You understand what I mean?
Yes.
So I think that they should give him a second chance.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. So, no, we got one observation. Ladies, no, I have one observation, okay? First of all, how you think about the all debate?
It's okay, I enjoy both candidates.
So, who do you think performed? You think was which of the candidates was most convincing that you think the people will vote for on Saturday?
Oh, I think Harry. Like, he has facts, he worked out his facts, and he answered all the questions professionally.
All right, my question is this. Let me know you got ready. So, my question is this. The former president of the United States says this, and he said, this is John F. Kennedy, he says, do not ask what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. Now, I'm gonna ask this question to for you guys. You are here as telling us what you're gonna do. What will you want us, the Liberian people, to do for you to sustain you if one of you guys get elected?
Thank you.
I'll go after you, Mr.
President. What will we want the community to do? The first thing I want to say is, like I started today, I want to thank the community. The community has been supportive to the greater extent. We will not take that away from you. When we had events, not only that you contributed voluntarily, you also pay to come in after contributing voluntarily. I want to thank you for that. But when we get elected, our goal and our hope is that we'll be more involved and we engage. We'll participate in the activities of the community. We'll work together for the better good of the community. You will help us with information such as, if something happened to somebody and we don't know about it, you should post it in the chat room or let one of the leaders know. We will collaborate. You will open your doors. When we call you, you will answer. When we reach to you to do something, whether that volunteer job, whether that to contribute, you will be willing and build up on some of the things that you've done. Again, I want to say thanks to this community. I am proud of this community. Even people that disagree with us, they are still able to support us. And for that, we are grateful. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Bolley. Mr. GKONEAN?
Yeah, so a couple of things. One is that I want us to begin being frank and realistic with ourselves. We are all family. We know one another, a very small community. I think we need to be able to start to put the interests of the community first. You should be able to look in my face and say, Harry, you are not doing well. Or Harry, it's been 2 years. You've not been able to deliver on the promises. Harry, you've not been able to organize programs that the community can take advantage of. We need sincere people, real sincerity. Look at my face and tell me that. Self and mutual criticism. I believe in self and mutual criticism. I should be able to learn from your criticism. We need active participation. We need to be able to fill all of the standing committees. My role as president of the executive committee is to coordinate the operation of the association. We need the standing committees to work. They are the organs of the association. If the women empowerment, the social committee, the education and cultural committee are not completely filled, you guys are not working, nothing is going to happen. All of these promises may not even be successful. And then 2 years I will come and say, I'm sorry, I apologize to you guys. No, we need your active participation to be able to succeed. We have to see ourselves as part and parcel of this community, and we cannot come together as Liberians if all of us don't see that we have vested interest in the process.
Thank you so much. Next on our list of people to ask questions, we have Princess. Is it Teal?
Yeah. Got a microphone on there.
I can't hear on the list to ask questions. You can't wait.
Thank you. Okay, my question going to the both candidates. I see that the president talking about somebody died, working on somebody, Liberian, doing all these things. I want to know whether our children on the street, our mother, our sisters, a lot of people on the street in Arizona here unjust. I want to know what you guys doing about it, because the last time I remember asking the president before, and it's very dangerous seeing our children on the street there smoking their own drugs, and nothing we're doing about it as a Liberian association. I want to know what you guys doing about it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Sister Princess, thank you so much. This community is big, folks, and it continues to expand. Yes, it is true that Sister Princess in one of the meetings brought up the issues of some Liberians. What we are asking the community, please, if you know of any Liberian that is on drugs, it's one thing for you to tell us, but please provide us with their contact information or where they are so we can locate them. Because again, this is a big state. One of the sisters that was talked about that was on drugs, we reached out to her. But you see, some of these things are people private businesses. Listen, the work we do, you don't come and talk about people private businesses in public when you have not been authorized to do it. We can't do that, folks. So when we provide these services to these people, we don't come to do publicity. We will not do that because we got to protect the integrity. The issue of mental health also has a stigma to it. The issue of addiction has a stigma to it. If I come here and say, me and the president, yesterday we had a meeting. Yesterday we should have attended an emergency meeting. The vice president and I could not attend that meeting because there was an emergency in our community. And guess what? We responded to the emergency. Are we going to tell you who that woman is? No, we're not going to do that. But please give us the information and we will follow up effectively, immediately, as we have always done. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Harris, please.
Okay, so I'm glad you raised these very serious concerns. So, that is border politics. These are our brothers and sisters we're talking about. I really believe that we need programs to be able to address those concerns. I think we need to institutionalize our response, our approach to deal with that. We don't have 1 year. We don't. Do we need to sit down after these elections and say, how as a community, how can we be able to maybe even make resources available? There may be resources and channel avenue through which help can be, I'm in the mental health field as well. I know for sure there are resources available that these young people can take advantage of. But we need to be able to do that as an association. I do have a lot of programs that I think can address that, especially in a more preventive way. I talk about the awards program, encouraging young kids to really focus on a pathway, to success, a pathway to personal development. We got after school programs that we want to implement as well. To be able to really focus on these kids and just really get them engaged. But we need programs to institute. Until we can do that, we will continue to deal with these issues. It's nothing about privacy. These kids are out there. They've been exposed to these abuses. We need to intervene. So this is not about privacy. This is a public matter you see on the streets. So as an association, we must be able to begin to design the right kind of programs to address these concerns. I'm sorry we've not been doing that in the last 2 years. I'm committed to ensuring that we begin to do that when I take over as president.
Thank you very much.
And so the problem is not the issue. The relational part of our community, where we can see our sisters and our brothers, even if they didn't vote for us, we see the next day, we tell them hello. That's it.
Thank you. Back to the list of those that were selected to ask questions. Mr. Emmanuel Gray Coluba Sr.
Yeah, God, thank you so much.
Now, but we waited graciously. Now, Bob been waiting.
All my questions I want to ask, you're asking if I want to. Yeah, you're doing good. The question for the two people. First of all, I'm going to Mr. Harris. Mr. Harris, with your due respect, okay? I know that you were appointed just for July 26, as you said that the 2 years, the current president did nothing. But when you were appointed that day and you make sure you made it different, all the profile you get here right now, that you talking to the audience, why you never impact it into this man for this Liberian community in Arizona to be unique, for everything to be okay. And secondly, they go into this man. You want to say, no, the second question, I want to know if it is true that the 2 years while this man was in power, you only came to meeting 4 times. Because I was about 2 years. And Mr. President, I want to ask you a question. Yeah, I want to ask you a question. In Arizona here, since I've been here, the thing what I see here is so bad. I haven't seen it in no country. The homeless people dying, and I learned that the Arizona Association, when people die here, they don't do nothing because in your constitution. In your constitution. So I just want to ask you, without those things are in the constitution, why you not working with rescue to help them, to take the sick, to take and to help people that die, to contribute.
Thank you.
Candidate wants to answer the question. Go ahead, Mr. Konean.
Great question, very brilliant questions. So, in terms of my contribution, yes, we have the chat room, and the evidence are there. I send series of recommendations. Some of the things I'm talking about here today, I send that in the chat room, right? I don't want to talk about personal conversation we had, right? Because I know it's possible, the president may deny it, but the one that is documented, right? The documented evidence in the chat room. I talk about some of these committees, some of the advisory committees, but the president has a tendency, when you give him recommendation, other folks here who go to the meeting can attest to that. By the time you say, you'll say, go do it. Yeah, go do it. You check, go do it. Like he's not interested in, getting the actual recommendation, what to do to move the community forward. And that's one of the reasons why I'm running, because if Steve could listen, we could all work together to get some of these things done, right? But he doesn't listen to these recommendations, and so that's why I want to lead the process of doing it myself. The second issue about meetings, I didn't count the number of times I was attending meeting. I didn't go and say meeting number 1, meeting number 2. I didn't do that. I know I attended meetings. But listen, let's face the truth. How many of you here, and how many times you've attended meetings? Let's face the truth, right? The meetings are not even productive. The meetings, we don't discuss actual programs as to how we can move the community forward. We go to the meeting, we're just arguing. We're just debating this politics after this one. The meeting, there's no incentives of going to those meetings. Let's face the truth. We have to be frank with ourselves. We have to be frank with one another and say the truth. See how many affected persons in it. People don't go to the meetings because nothing is happening in those meetings. We want to change those things for once. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Mr. Bolley?
Well, folks, I want to apologize to those of you who burned your gas, those of you who took risks, left your children, left your jobs, and came to meetings to contribute to the Liberian Association. I want to apologize on behalf of Harry for dishonoring you in this manner. Because you contributed by taking your time to come there. You must be acknowledged for that. And for the record, Harry will not even know whether we have 50, 30, or 40 people there because he hasn't been there. So how can you tell us What's going on there? How can you tell the media you are not productive when you are not there? So that one does not make any sense. But to the issue, to my brother, we, like I said, we contributed in our ways as presidents or as leaders for the community. Whether that to even pick up the phone 4 o'clock in the morning when somebody cried on the phone and say, "Man, somebody died," and we have to call the funeral home. Or you have no clue how that hurts. You have no clue how that hurts. When you get a call 4 o'clock in the morning while you are in the middle of your sleep and you got to get up 6 o'clock to go to work and somebody say the parent passed away or the child passed away and you got to call the funeral home for them to get that discount. Because you got to make sure they take the body from there so that it does not pass the 72 or 42 hours that they gave you. We did that in our weak ways. We did that. This is why we want to make sure we put in the Constitution that when anything happens to any Liberian going forward, we can be fully participatory. Even if that 50% discount, even if that 60% discount. Look, we work with people, raise funds. Again, we're not going to sit here and brag about it because that's not an issue when you do good. We stood with people when their family member, their children pass away, the people pass away. We did that. So it was an individual thing. It was an individual thing. It was not done on a community level to say, oh, the Liberian Association doing it. This is why we want to put it in the Constitution so that the Liberian Association can help.
So here's the thing, right? I just want to expose the paradox, the comforting thought of what the president is saying. Now, you're creating a picture of me not being active in the association, not going to no meetings. But you gave me one of the highest responsibility. How did you even give me that responsibility? So you must question the president's judgment. You take me, you gave me your July 26th, you said I should head it. You said you made me chair of your social committee. That is the most powerful standing committee in the association. You get to a member who don't even go to zero meeting. Does that sound right?
Thank you, Mr. Bollietv. Thank you.
So let me answer Harry. Let me answer Harry.
Oh my God.
Let me answer Harry.
I enjoyed this.
Let me answer, folks. Let me address this quickly. You see, community services where you are not paid, where it is a free of charge, where there are not too many people willing to work. Sometimes people just occupy position. But that even speaks volume of Harry himself, who was given a full responsibility, who refused. He's admitting to you that he couldn't even commit to the community that he wants to lead. He couldn't commit. The only time he came around when we were having party.
Thank you. Next on the list is Mr. George. Is it Whammy?
George Whammy.
Mr. George Whammy?
Please let me attention. I'd like to thank the both candidates. But I thought we were on. It says on. It says don't hear me. Yeah, I'd like to thank the both candidates for the sacrifice on our behalf. They are doing a wonderful job of exposing what we need to hear, what we need to know, and then holding accountable. But my questions are these, and I'm going to add 2 questions. Yeah, no, it's 1, but it's going to be 2 in both. Mr. President, you started with your success story of achievement of 49 registered members, $5,795. And then, multiple things that you started with. We are in Arizona, and
and we coexist with different communities from different countries. Do you think that a picture that you just painted, $5,000 for the 9 members of the community, and then other things that you just started with, are those realistic achievements? Is that what Liberian people here need to know? Last to the question is this. Yeah. We have a leadership that has different demographics in this community. We have single mothers who have their own struggle. We have the elderly. And we have young people that you guys have been talking to. And needs for the different demographic varies. I'd like to hear from both candidates. How do you speak to these different demographics?
Thank you.
Break it down.
Yeah.
Hey, hold it break down. Hold it break down. Hold it break down. Yeah, hold it break down.
So, Mr. Wimmy, thank you so much for the question.
Mr. Wimmy, ask question you're leaving, you gotta listen to the answer.
So, Mr. Wimmy, I think Mr. Wimmy asked a good question for the benefit of the community, and we have to be fair to whether he's here or not. We attempt to answer the question. I think one thing that has kept our leadership, whether you choose to support or not, is the issue of transparency and credibility. We have stuck with that. And you know how I know that? The fact that I'm able to tell you here that these are the values or these are the numbers, we're not shy away from it. That's the truth. If we register for the 9 people, why should I come and lie to you and say we register 100 people? How good is that to you as a community? If your leaders cannot be truthful to you here, when they will be truthful to you? If you are waiting and looking for somebody who will lie to you to impress you temporarily, sorry, you will not find it in me. I will never lie to you. I will tell you as it is. Whether you want to support us or not, at least the facts will be available to you because they are on record. And this is what we need. This is how our community will move forward. When we can be able to say the truth to you. Even if it is bad, we can say it's bad. If it's good, we say it's good. We make mistakes, we say we make mistakes. Take responsibility and move on. That's what this community needs. Now, to the programs, to the different demographic that you spoke about. You are right. There are different people, different demographics. How we have been able to do this is, for example, again, that not everything we do as leadership will come publish it all over. We have been able to secure between 3 to 5 our older folks get a citizenship, help them to get a citizenship. In as much as the number might not seem big, but we started from somewhere. How we have been able to appeal to single mothers. Just yesterday I told you about a single mother who had an issue, an emergency. We have been doing a countless of time reaching out to single mothers, solving problems behind closed doors. Thank you.
Yeah, so the work of the Liberian community should not be behind closed doors. Listen, the way to do the immigration thing is to announce to the community that we are providing immigration services. Why would you do that behind closed doors? Let's communicate that. Let's put it on the website. Let's put it in the group chat. Let's put it on Facebook page. That those who have interest in getting immigration services, the Liberian community is doing that. That's an incentive. Yes. We shouldn't do it behind closed doors. Listen, we have a lot of potential. If we have 5,000 active members, they're paying $20 every year. You know how much? $100,000. That's a lot of money. And we can begin to do a lot of things. So let's find the programs, like El John was saying. Some of the programs, I talk about the youth mentorship program a lot. I'm sure you've heard that. Our after school care programs. We have a lot of single mothers in the area. Can we find a little place where we get some volunteers, some of our elderly people? I learned some places sending the old people back home because they don't have anything to do. So you can even use them. They come and volunteer to the little center where these single moms, if they need 2-3 hours to bring their kids, maybe they pay some kind of meager fee. That's the way of generating revenue. That's the way of contributing to the community. That's the way of also helping the old folks and all of that. So we just need to sit down
and talk about these things and find a better way. Maybe I'm not saying that in a better way, but some of you know exactly you can contribute to these programs. So after these elections, you will come, we'll sit down, and let's sit and say, let's find a way to address this, to solve it. But you need the leader who has the vision to make these things happen. Otherwise, it's not going to happen. And Steve has demonstrated here, he doesn't have the vision to do that. And in the last 2 years, he has not been able to do that. That's the truth. And we must begin to be sincere with ourselves. Steve must say it, that you were not able to do that, you didn't take your job seriously.
Thank you.
And give some...
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. So, follow-up before you go, Mr. Boley, you can add up to that. So, that question was part of our question. Someone make a follow-up on that, please.
Sure.
So, that question is important to our community. Okay? We have senior citizens among us. Okay? We have kids among us. We talk about preschool or after-school program. So, can you both please tell us clearly, tell Liberian people clearly, what are your plans and how do you intend to achieve that plans to help our senior in the community, to have after-school programs, to have the young people, help single mothers, and how do you achieve those plans? Clearly tell the Liberian people, please.
Well, first of all, the issue of the immigration was announced, is in the chat room, and the chair of that particular committee is Mr. John Lasala. But Harry wouldn't know because he has never been to a meeting again. How will he know? All these good things are happening. How do other people, their parents manage to know, or children manage to know that we're offering these services? Because you know what? They are actively involved and engaged in the community. So the only time we can refer to Harry, when we're having party, we'll come to him. But anyway, that's a side point, right? This question is very, very important. This question is very, very, very important. And how we intend to do that? We started up most recently of doing after-school program with the young kids. This after-school program, listen, we are not saying we are waiting. We started it, we're in 2, 3 children, 4, 5 children, mothers, bring your children. We help them with their homework. We do that. Now, earlier I spoke about how we started off with the older folks or helping them. I'm hearing Harry saying that they will grab the older folks and bring them to come and work with the children. There are rules and regulations and stipulations. When an older person is working with the younger people, let me say this to you. We might not try that Liberian thing before somebody gets in trouble. Because if something happens to those children, we will be held liable. So what we need to do, as opposed to running to program, because that's all Harry is used to, let's try to make it constitutional first. And let's try to create an avenue where we can buy insurances, we can reach out to the government and ensure that we have these things in place. Then we can bring the older folks to help take care of our children. That's how it works.
Thank you.
Program.
Thank you.
I'm tired, man. I will enjoy myself today. I enjoy you guys.
So, Mr. President, it's been 2 years. It's been 2 years. We're still trying to work on the Constitution. And I don't know why you got a problem with programs. All this Constitution is about is that we design programs. We design activities so that when people can take advantage of it. The reason why you don't have people coming to your meetings, the meetings that we've been hosting, I've hosted a meeting, you haven't hosted a single meeting yet. I have, and I've spent my resources to do that, is because the organization is important to me. You know, we need all of these activities. And the president said these things are happening. Who's the director of the after-school program you have? We all have kids. That's not the Liberian Association. We all have kids with their lesson. You don't have an activity ongoing sponsored by the Liberian Association for after-school program. You don't have that. Stop misinforming the public. Don't do that. You know, that is wrong, and we have to be realistic about it. Steve does not have that. You don't know that because it is not happening. So we do have a plan as to how we're going to do that. And some of these things, like I said, we don't even need money to do. When I say older folks, I did not say you violate existing state laws. Did I say that? We just gave you a general summary of what things we're going to do. I'm not going to come here to say, okay, you will design laws, you will make sure these old folks, they got certification and all of that. There are practices that will lead to that.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Let's move on.
Next on the list, we have Mr. Mohammed Soare.
Thank you very much. My question goes directly to Harris.
Harry.
I have two questions. We have had a lot of controversial issues surrounding your attendance. I think one of the persons that can really make clarification on that is me. And the reason being that I'm the current Secretary General of the Liberian Association. So one of the things we take into consideration is meeting attendance. If you walk in any meeting, you will first of all see the attendance where there will be pen available for you to write your name to make sure that you attend that meeting. And I have all the record clear. And I can stand here and inform the Liberian public that you did not attend 30% of the meeting, Liberian Association meeting for last year, not the physical year. So now my question is that you are not being associated with the Liberian Association, Liberian people. And then you have come here that you want to lead the people. I wonder what kind of leadership you're going to give to the Liberian people. That's my question.
Thank you.
Number two question is that from the look of seeing here, I'm somebody who observes. With the kind of attitude you put on to do here, arguing with the moderator and trying to dictate to them, I wanted to know what type of leadership you're going to provide to us. Thank you.
But he worked with Steve, so yes, let me see. He worked with
Hello, please let the man respond, please.
The Secretary General left some of the responsibility out. And let me help you read that. Article 7, Section 4, the Secretary General, you shall compile and read all meeting minutes of the association. You don't read meeting minutes of the association. You shall publish a quarterly newsletter. Where the quarterly newsletter have you published one before since you became Secretary General? You should develop and maintain a website. Do you have a website? So the Secretary General only responsibility that he knows about is to count how many times I attend meetings. Why should we continue to repeat this thing over and over? I've said it here, I've attended meetings. Have I attended all of the meetings? The Secretary General, you are right, I haven't. Have I attended some of the meetings? Yes, I have. You should have that record of the ones I attended. Have I hosted a meeting at my place that you attended? Yes, I have. So what does that be talk about? Meetings. I go to meetings. The reason for the meeting is the person must have vested interest in the association. Have I demonstrated that? Yes, I have. Has the president demonstrated that? Yes. All the Liberian, he gave me responsibility, and I performed it. We had a successful program. So let bury the meeting thing, and let's talk about substantive issues in the interest of the association. Thank you.
With Humi and doing everything else under. I'm just saying, at least let's move on and let's stop the Humi and everything. Mr. Alpha S. Cully, if you're available, you have 1 minute for your question, sir.
It's not here. I swear I'm tired, man.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. My name is Alpha Cully, Bollietv PRODUCTION. And I just have you guys. I'm listening to you people here, been going back and forth. It's kind of unfortunate to say. I'm going to say it that way. Like the both of you still haven't told us anything yet. I see the both of you just going back and forth like pointing fingers. I will start with this. Back to the Constitution and deal. You spoke about the Constitution is vague and need to be worked on. You have said for 2 consecutive years. Is it now that you just knew that you have to change it? And for you, And this is your question. You worked with this young man before. You worked on I call a standing committee, a stand to be corrected. And you also a member of this institution. But you kept pointing fingers to his failure. Speaking to that, you are part and parcel of this association. In order for this association to grow and be very vibrant, you have to attend meetings regularly. Have you been regular? You have to pay your due on time. Have you paid your due regularly as well?
Well, I want to thank Brother Alpha for his question. I think those are fair questions. Back to the issues in terms of the Constitution. When we took over, the Constitution is a document that we have to work with. When we took over, it was right within the end of COVID and in also the middle of COVID. And so what our priority was at the time was to first of all create the atmosphere for our people to even be part of meetings or even get the Liberian Association rejuvenated. Because I remember during the previous administration, during Lester's administration, we attended meetings on Zooms because of the COVID. Now we thought it wise to encourage our people to come out, to motivate our people to say, let us not be inside, the COVID is over. Let's come outside, let's meet, let's see face to face, because it's been almost 2 years. Now, that was one of our priority. Another part of our priority also was to recruit people, because people were not even motivated. This thing take time. For example, we recruited Ado. Mr. Harry, we recruited him to serve, and we definitely got him to serve as the social committee chairperson. So he worked with us, and we thank you for his services. God bless you for serving the Liberian people. But these are our priorities. Those are things we have to do. And then at the very last minute of our administration now, we sat down and said, no, this Constitution is vague. What can we do to amend the Constitution? But in doing that, you have to find people to do it. And my people, let me tell you the truth in the Liberian way. This is a free job. It takes people with commitment to come around to do it with their heart. Sometimes you contact people, they say, I will get back with you, they will not get back with you. You contact the other person. So we have been trying to recruit people to ensure that we have a credible committee for this particular Constitution to be amended.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, correct. I was given an opportunity to serve my community. Steve asked me to chair a committee to plan this on July 26th celebration. I wholeheartedly accepted. I invested my time. I invested my resources. I hosted the meet and greet at my place. The entertainment, money from my pocket. The food, money from my pocket. The drinks, money from my pocket. The net of the program, the association never had money to book the hall. I credited the association my personal money to ensure that the program is successful. The planning to ensure that we raise money. The president was given one responsibility for the July 26th, to make sure queens are available from the different counties to have a queen contest. Every time we asked the president, he said the queen, we're going to get it from the counties. That did not happen. The president failed to ensure that the counties present the queen. It was on the eve of the program. My co-chair leaders right here, he and I sat down, we had to strategize. How can we raise money? And that's how we did the county competition. We raised the highest amount under Steve's administration. I played that role. I'm proud of my role to ensure that his administration was successful. So I'm very proud of that. If I had that opportunity, I would do it again to serve my community. Have I attended a meeting? Yes, I have. Have I attended every single meeting of the association? No, I haven't. I hosted a meeting at my house before. The association meeting this year, I did that. So I've been committed to this association. I've used my time and resources to support his leadership to ensure that it becomes successful.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Otto. So, Mr. President, I have a follow-up on that question.
Sure.
That tells us in this hall today that it is important we talk about the Constitution, because the Constitution are being used as a means of excuse of doing your job. So we want to know as Liberians, when you talk over, when did you realize the Constitution was vague and there were some things to be amended in the Constitution? When did you realize that? And how come you didn't have any effort in that direction?
Well, when I took over, first of all, when we took over, like I said earlier, when we took over, the Constitution.
Turn up yours. Turn up yours.
So when we took over, folks,
That's good, just talk.
So when we took over, So when we took over, I think you can hear me, I'm audible enough. When we took over, the reason why we did not jump immediately to the Constitution is because there were competing priorities, such as we needed to make sure the community starts to move again. My people, if you can recall, when COVID hit, everybody was afraid. And our community was hit hard because we had a couple of deaths in our community. So our people were not even motivated to come outside. They didn't even want to have meetings. People did not even care as much as possible for the Liberian Association. I saw the Leicester administration try their best to ensure that they host meetings via Zoom and other things. And we attended those meetings. However, our priority at the time was to ensure that we bring our people out, motivate our people, and create an enabling environment. At that time, the Constitution was secondary.
Thank you.
It was not primary. But I want to also say this for the record. Mr. Harry was not the one that took money from a pocket to sponsor the July 26th. The records are there. Liberians voluntarily contributed, whether it was for drink, whether it was for food. So the credit must be given to you, and thank you so much to our community for being very successful and for being very, very active in the day-to-day.
Thank you. I have a follow-up question from the question I was asked. Mr. Harris, I have a question.
An issue was raised against my representative. I want to give it an opportunity to clarify.
You will clarify, Mr. Harris, you cannot debate with the moderator. You will clarify when I give you the time. When I give you the time, you'll add what you want to say, please.
You refer to me as a liar. You don't want me to respond to that?
You will respond, sir. Okay. Can you give me the minute to give a follow-up question, and you will have the time? Please. Hello, please. Hello. You guys are not going to run over me. Trust me, you're not going to. My question is, my follow-up question to you is this. The gentleman that asked the question wanted to know, do you take any responsibility? Have you served in this leadership as a committee chair? Do you take any responsibility in the failures of this administration? Thank you, sir. And you can respond to Mr. Boley as well.
Mr. Boley was elected president of the Liberian Association. He has his responsibility, constitutional responsibility. He asked me to serve as chair of the July 26th team. I told you what I did to ensure that the program was successful. I credited the association $900. It cannot be disproved. We could not get the hall. I took my money. Those who read the report, it's in the report that Harry credited $900. I sponsored the meet and greet. I took the money from my pocket, my own money. The food, there's a lady called Cynthia, 19 in Glendale. I called her $500 food. I paid for it.
Thank you.
I haven't talked for a minute yet.
Thank you.
No. It's not rebuttal, you asking a question. No. You guys have been there was a question I'm responding to.
When the guys are done, then we'll ask the questions here. Mr. Conean,
You asked me a question. No, there were two issues. One was a rebuttal, and the next was a question you asked me. There were two concerns. No, because the team is being unfair. I just have to say that.
At least handle stuff properly. Because if the people that follow you see you acting in such a way, I don't know what they're going to say, but let's make on Mr. Conean.
I'm just asking for unfair opportunities to address these concerns.
I want this one very clear. Now please pay attention to me, please. I want to make something very, very clear here. I live in Arizona, but like I live out of state. Question, but I was still answering another way, paraphrasing. First clarity, Steve, came to me and asked me what you want the Liberian Association to do for the burial of your son. Negative, flat up, shall I say lie. I did not ask the Liberian community, I mean not the Liberian community, but the Liberian Association for a penny to bury my child. Nobody from the Liberian Association ever went to my house in Avondale to say sorry for the death of his son. So I don't know where you went. I don't know who the father talking about. No lawyer ever came to me and asked me a question. Say, I want you to please come to my office. I can represent you for the death of your son.
1 minute, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much. So, because people ask a question, I will ask you, why is it people should trust you to become the president of the Liberian Association for another term? Why is it you are saying that you talk about transparency, but you clearly not transparent right here, right now, as I speak?
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
To you, Harry, what will you do to improve? Because I believe, as a person, I believe, visitation from the Liberian community is a syndicate. If you're not part of the social club, they cannot identify with you. If you're part of the social club, they identify with you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you.
So first of all, I want to say my sympathy again to Mr. Young. I want to say my sympathy. Maybe Mr. Young is missing two different things. Two different scenarios, two different issues. I went to Mr. Young's ex-wife's house. They know. And that is the fact of the matter. I didn't lie. I have no reason to lie. Mr. Young and I spoke on the phone when his son passed away. This is a sensitive matter. But since Mr. Young for me to clarify to the public, Mr. Young called me on the phone. He called me to tell me his son passed away. I expressed my deepest condolence to him. He didn't even stay there. I went straight to his wife or his ex-wife's house. I went to there. I was there. I met Beno and what's his name? And he and I spoke also, Beno's current husband. And I told him, I said, I will be traveling that same weekend you're trying to bury. Let us know what the Liberian Association can do. I spoke to him, not you, Young. So maybe you are mistaken.
Well, you said, excuse me, let me cut you off. You said
okay, we're not going to take a
so
let me go further now.
Let me go further now. Yes. Let me go further now.
Go ahead, thank you, please. Go ahead. Your time is up.
Let me go further, folks. Let me go further now.
Go ahead, please.
Let me go further. Let me go further, folks.
Go ahead. Your time is up.
So there is another young man that passed away. And maybe Mr. Young missed that also. It was that young man's sister that came from Iowa that contacted us. She was the one that got on the phone with the lawyer. There is no need to lie about it.
Thank you.
But Mr. Young, I'm sorry.
Thank you. Thank you. Now, Mr. Connick, can you address your question to Mr.
Thank you.
Election Saturday, there will be victory for us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Kenesia. I'm part of the Liberian Community Association.
How do you think? Who do you think they were in the debate?
Well, until we can win election and people are doing what we expect them to do.
Based on the performance of the two candidates today.
Well, they both deliver very well, I can say. But Steve, this is a message for you. Are you going live with me?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay.
Now live.
As I was giving my message, Steve, this is for you. I disagree with your statement you kept making when people bereave, you're asking them what can the community do. Even people from the community just can give the family a call. That's something you don't ask a bereaved family, what can we do for you? That's not something you just do what you can do, and every little thing can, I'm sure they will appreciate it. So you should raise that from your thoughts.
Starts with an S.
So the two, so who outperformed the
I mean,
Look, at the end of the day, it's not about the blame game. It's about what you're gonna do to better it and how you're gonna move forward. And I think Steve showed very nice skills in portraying that. So I appreciate that. No, so it's not about the blame game.
So you think Steve did better in the debate?
Definitely.
Oh.
You said that the Liberian associate themselves, when those people then have their kids and they pass away and stuff like that. I just want to let's go back to that because one of the little boys that was killed, that was my nephew, and you guys never showed up there. Not only that, those two kids who were unfortunately dead, they were shot and killed. Not only that, the Liberian Association never even helped their parents them to get justice for them. So my question to you, what are you going to do different now? Because there's so many kids who are out there, who their parents are having trouble with them. What are you guys going to do different now that you want us to go through?
Thank you.
Thank you. Good question.
Thank you.
Thank you, William. Folks, I think this is a sensitive question. And so let's address this question. William, first of all, let me start off by reiterating what we said when we heard the news. We showed up at the house. Since you made it about me, I showed up at the house. I did. During the burial, I was on the Liberian Association with the EULA out of state. However, we sent out our vice president. And yes, you are right. The Liberian Association might not have taken over the case. And the reason for that is when these things happen, especially when there is gun shooting at people, let me tell you the Liberian way. Investigation when they are going on, and I'm part to the ball, and I'm man to the ball. They will tell you, say they can release information. They are going through the investigation. That's one. The second part about this also is this. When you go to meet the family, and you ask them, what can we do to help? And they don't tell you what to do to help. What can you do? What can you do? What can you do? If you are willing to help, if they tell you, this is where we want to go, because I spoke to the boss father, I went there, I spoke to the boss mother. Again, some of these things are people private issue. I'm careful about what I say about people private issue, because it's very, very important, and these things are sensitive. If we're not careful, we can hurt people in the process. But all we want to say is this. We are sorry if in any way, shape, or form, we did not meet your expectations. We are sorry. And we'll own up to it.
Thank you, Mr. Bolley. Mr. GKONEAN?
And on behalf of the community, we also want to apologize. I just really believe that we need to find a way to really address, these issues. We don't have it. Steve doesn't have it. He didn't establish anything to address these concerns. That's the truth, right? I learned that during the Lester Myers administration, they partnered with some law firm, the Ray McDonald law firm. I think we need something like that. We need to reestablish it. So we have this legal practice available that we can always reach to. So situation like that, we go to the parents and say, do you have legal representation? Sometimes if you don't have that, it's really difficult to address these things. Then we take them to that legal practice that we have, that we're working with, so that they can be able to help provide direction, And also, sometimes to get real justice, we need contact. You need people, in the local authority, whether it's in the legislature, in the Senate, that you can reach out to and say, our community has a problem. So let's reestablish that connection. Let's maintain that connection with these people so that we can always just call them. But to do that, you need a structure to handle that. You need some kind of, I think you have the committee, the outreach, and membership committee. That's part of the responsibility. So let's have that structure, have that responsibility, and let's empower that committee to go out there and establish these extended relationships. I think that's the way we can really begin to start to do something about these concerns.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. And when we spoke about that issue earlier, we said it was very sensitive. Okay, and it was an opportunity for you both to speak to the Liberian people directly. And I don't think it was a time to even attack each other. It was a time to tell Liberian people, this is what I'm going to do to make sure that this don't happen again. Or we can reduce the chance of it happening. But I think you lost opportunity in that way. So I want to ask again. Because this is personal, it is serious to our community. It's not time to play politics and to accuse one another. It's time to take responsibility as leader or incoming leader that I can do this different. Okay? In order to help this situation, we have to provide alternative behaviors. If you say this person don't do this, what are the alternative behaviors you're giving them not to do what they are doing? So can you tell the Liberian people clearly what plan, exactly just one plan that you're going to put in place, not to stop the situation completely, but to reduce the frequency for what has happened in the last year? That's it. 1 minute, please.
Well, thank you so much. Again, this is a sensitive conversation. This is a sensitive topic, and we will always empathize and sympathize with the family. What we have put in place, or what we have decided going forward to do, is to ensure that when these things happen, we coordinate with the family to determine where they are, because some families have personal lawyers. Some families are pursuing the case differently, right? Some families do not have any means of securing lawyer or whatever it is. And we work with a law firm. Like I said earlier, there is a girl, our brother also, I was talking about the case, I'm not going to call names. Her brother was in the police custody and something happened. We called a lawyer with her, we went there, and the lawyer told her straight off. The lawyer said, this case, we can't take it on. You see? So these are things that we are doing, and these are things we did. And we intend to expand as far as going now. We decided that we're going to have workshops.
Thank you.
We're going to ensure also that we get the local authority, the police involved.
Thank you, sir.
To make sure the work of our community.
Thank you. Mr. GKONEAN? 1 minute.
I'll go ahead and repeat what I said. I'm not sure why the moderator did not get that. I talked about using existing institutions we have, the outreach and membership committee. That is their constitutional responsibility for issues like that. Let's empower them. I talk about establishing external relations with a law firm legal practice that can provide legal representation for those folks. I talk about that. I also talk about establishing a relationship with state legislature, with local state authority. I gave you 3 different steps and things we can do, and you said I did not answer the question. What are you listening to, Mr. Moderator?
Mr. GKONEAN, I would put it like this to you. When the moderator asked a question about gun violence, right, he did give you a hint that it's a sensitive issue. It's not an issue you just scream about. It affects the lives of our people. People that don't feel like they're being heard. So when you spoke first, he heard you, but he wants you to address Liberians here and not him in a more empathetic manner.
I apologize on behalf of the Liberian community. I said all of that.
Thank you.
And I said there was no system to address that. So I'm confused as to what's really happening on the team.
We're going to move forward. But again, you are not debating the moderator. I know there are a lot of sentiments running through the system, but you are debating Steve and you are going to get to the Liberian people. Let's move on.
Mr. Bollietv, can we get some order behind there? Thank you. Next on the list is Madam Patient Zawi. Question?
Number 15?
Me on there.
You just said?
Me on there.
Go ahead, Mama.
So, Mr. President and the incoming, I'm not sure. So, I want to ask you a question. I've been here and everything I hear about our community is dead.
Yes.
But we're in a Western world where life is changing. how can we make our kids to be better than us? Because you guys are our leader and we look up to you. How can we change the life of our young ones so that we don't wait for death, but we have to get them out of death? And my second question. So,
1 minute.
Yes, when you, in case of anything, you lose the election, will you work with the president and bring all your ideas on board, or are you going to sit there and say, because I didn't win, I'm not going to serve my community?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Bolley?
Yeah. Folks, this is a sensitive, this is a good question. I mean, a very, very good question. The first thing I want to say to Sister Patient is this. We as a community, first thing first, we as a community should be able, and I want to say this, I've seen this in our community, to support one another. But I've seen it in our community where we are able to support one another. Even in our disagreements, we support one another. That's how it starts. The second thing is, we definitely want to get the children, like we stated earlier, we got the children starting off with helping them with their homework. If the man in the park can help them, or if they're not available, we can start it from there. We started small. Thirdly, to your last question that you asked, I want to say this to you and I want to commit this to the Liberian people. I am committed to the community, win or lose. I am committed fully to working with whoever wins. Because you know what? At the end of the day, it's about our community and our people. That the same people will see each other today or tomorrow right after this election. This is why, if you listen to our campaign, we have always called for everybody to honor each other in this process. Let's be respectful to one another, because we will have to work together and we have to live together. So the Liberian people can count on me to definitely support our community. I ain't going nowhere. I'm here, and I will make sure and be part of our community. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Boley. Mr. GKONEAN?
So amongst the two candidates here, Steve and I, Steve is the only person who, when he did not win the elections with Lester Myers, he attended not more than 5 meetings and he pulled out. He did not support the administration because he claimed that he was cheated. I'm committed to working with Steve's administration if he wins the election. I think the community is bigger than all of us. You know, we can get tough talking. At the end of the day, it boils down to what can we do to advance the community. So you have my word on that. I'm going to be available to work with his administration if he wins the election. The second concern, it's about programs. I do have a couple of programs that I think we can begin to implement, that we address some of these issues. I talked about the youth mentorship programs to get youth preoccupied or use existing community resources to do that. I talk about the after school programs so that we can work with these young kids to be able to really help them. Career development, business development programs we have experts amongst us that we can use to help provide these services to our community.
Thank you, sir. As we wind down, it's getting late. Mr. Josh Lowe, you're next. Can you take 1 minute to ask a question?
Good evening. Real quick, I heard both of you speak of integrity and transparency. Great, because it's important. I just want to ask the current president, and I'll ask the Mr. I don't want to say incoming president.
You have only 1 minute, sir. You can say that.
Okay, Mr. Bolley, when you took office, can you inform us if you indeed received a financial statement from the Lester administration, and if it was presented when and where? But I also want to take a back, Mr. Bolley, on this. The board chair just dropped a report in the group chat. And there are a few things, because we're speaking of transparency, I want to bring to your attention. I see that $1,180 some dollars was deposited on the 20th of December in a group account. And I want to ask you as to why was it at that time? Was the fund raised? Because I know the funds were raised during the July 26th. And also, Mr. Bolley,
1 minute, sir.
Yeah, let me end my statement, please. On the 20th, I also see that there were ATM withdrawing in October from that very same account. How do you reconcile those transactions on there? And Mr. GKONEAN, if you do win, can you assure the public that there will be a comprehensive audit? Because just looking at these numbers, because of time, I can go in there to point out some of the things that I see. Can you guarantee us that?
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Well, the question. When President Lester Meyer took over, there was a turnover note. I was not part of the transitional process. I received a turnover note and 2 checks, which amounted to 2,000 and change. I don't remember the exact figure, either 2,400. I received it from, at that time, the board of directors who were in charge of doing the transition. So I did not receive any direct note or anything from Lester Meyer. However, there was a transitional team. Now, coming to the transaction that you spoke about, we paid someone to do the website. Because when we took over, I don't know what happened. We asked for the existing Liberian Association website. We didn't get it. So we decided that we would pay for a website. However, the guy who was doing the website for us started to play delay tate games. So we decided to retrieve that money from him to make sure it accounts for what's in the balance. And that's why you saw at the very last minute, Liberian made that deposit in order to ensure that the account was current. Because we wouldn't come to the administration and say, we paid 3,000 to somebody to do the website, the person that do the website and drag that story. The people will say we need their money. So to be clear, we make sure we got the money from the guy and deposit it to ensure that we were current, so that the amount that reflects the report was also reflected in the account. Thank you for that question.
Mr. GKONEAN?
Yeah, so the amount in total is $1,287 for a website. What kind of website is that? Yeah, website should not be more than $200-300. That's not a website. So, but let me answer your question about audit. I mean, I think it's fair enough to have an independent appreciation of, how the institution has been managed, over the last 2 years. But here's the catch. Some of us really believe that to be successful, we need to get everybody on board, including our state's administration. And so we want to be a little careful as to how we ask the administration to account, but at the same time wanting their collaboration, because I don't want a case where, like what happened between Steve and Lester. So Lester won, Steve pulled out. I want everybody working together. So I will work with my team and we'll find, a possible way to work around ensuring that the past administration account, but at the same time, ensuring that they understand that this is just fair enough and all can just work together, as one.
Sir, will you audit the past administration in case you win? Yes or no?
Again, I will work with my administration to be able to determine how we can, because the responsibility is not given to the executive. The Constitution talks about audit. It is the board that commission audit, not the executive committee.
Would you request the board to do that as the president if you win?
It depends on the financial report. The administration report we get from the outgoing leadership, we analyze it, we assess it, we assess it, and then at that particular time, we'll make a decision as to whether to pay for an audit or not.
Thank you. 30 seconds, Mr. Bolley.
Yes. Quickly to the Liberian people. Please, I want this to be clear to you. I am asking for the very first time, Harry, directly, if he ever wins, please audit us. Because we believe in transparency and accountability, and we should be willing to be held accountable. This is the right way to go. And the last part I want to clear out is this. Lester is here for Harry to claim that I pulled out. That is very, very shocking, because our own meetings, our fully available. Now one day Lester ever reached out to me to ask me to work in his administration or to do anything, and I refused.
Thank you, Mr. Bolley.
What do you think about the debate?
Oh, it was fine. It was fine.
So now that the debate is over, who you think in your mind won this debate?
Well, I cannot say it right now, but
I mean, I asked you who you vote for, but you saw the debate.
well, they were saying the same thing, so I don't see that.
So you think it was a tie?
It was a tie. Yeah, I would say it's a tie.
Okay, no problem. No problem. Okay. I saw you jumping by. What do you think about the debate? Who won the debate? You say who? So that Harris fought. What do you think? Oh, don't worry about that. Who do you think won the debate? I mean, how was the debate? Let's just look at it. How was the debate?
It was good. I like
So, who do you think won? For your own observation, I said who you voting for? Who you think won the debate? People can like somebody win the debate, but now vote for him.
Harris.
You think Harris won the debate? Ah, here we go again. Amen. You mean I say the TV I gotta go around and small. Go open that. Okay. So we back again. We have to ask questions around here. So gentlemen, I need reactions here. Who you think won this debate? I mean, from your observation.
Hey, I'm a party to one of the things.
It doesn't make you give your opinion.
So I 100% gave it to my thing, the hurricane.
Oh, no. I know who the man. Based on your observation, who you think won?
Okay, let me be transparent.
How was it?
I think it was fine. I think it was intellectual, and I think Harry got a good chance on the debate. I would say you won by number one.
Thank you.
Today, the debate was all about my president schooling Harry as to how leadership works. Okay, so and that's the reason why we came here today. The man is an educator, so we did not come here to come and argue and put it. We came here to educate the man how administration works. And I'm sure he got the tutelage tonight. And if you can, and I can assure you that on Saturday, there's going to be a very good victory for us. And then I want to take this time to also invite you to the celebration.
I just hope that people will be more honest as to what they've done, because these things, people must not occupy position just to build resumes. It must be with the intention of serving the community. That's what I hope for. I'm glad to see everything that I fought for in this community. Today, every single person in the state of Arizona can say, this was my fight. And to see it manifest itself before my eyes, I'm extremely humble. That's all.
Thank you. So who you think to you now is leading this debate?
As far as I'm concerned, the debate hasn't ended yet. So
I mean, for the first one you saw.
Listen, there have been some high and low moments. There have been high and low moments. But as far as I'm concerned, I think Harry Ato so far, from what I see, it's a lot easier for him than for the incumbent, because he has served. So now people are scrutinizing based on what he has done. Harry has not served, so it's a lot easier for Harry. I think he's having some great moments. And let's see how the debate progresses from here.
Thank you. That was the voice of Mr. George Lobo. We will move on here. We're still getting people reactions. And as we get reactions, I have my brother, Mr. Sekou Kane. You've been watching this debate. SKTV for fact. So, Mr. Kane, ask me. So far, you've been here. I saw you here. What do you think about the debate so far?
I think it's very good. I'm enjoying it. It's good.
Yeah, it's competitive. So, after the first round, what do you think? Who do you think is
I'm not sure if the debate will change any mind. I believe Liberian politics, whether national, local, or community politics, Liberians will come into politics with three mindsets. The debate not going to change change their mind. People going to support you, they're not going to support you.
So let me ask you. So for your own observation here, who you think? I know there are a bunch of ups and downs in the debate. Who you think is leading this debate now in the first one? You think? You talking about?
I reserve comment on that.
Thank you for your comment. We hear.
You should tell the people. Here you go.
So when I'm interviewing my brother here, you watch the debate so far. What's your observation? Come on, let's say. I'm talking to you next, brother. Let me finish. So what you think about this debate so far?
From what I've seen so far, right?
Yeah.
Both of them are confused.
So you think none of them winning the debate so far?
As from my observation from me coming late, no.
Okay, thank you.
Nobody's answering direct questions.
So my brother, I see you getting heated here. For your observation,
I'm mad and frustrated about the entire association. First of all, my name is Alpha.
Thank you.
It's very unfortunate that Liberians will stay always to brag about education and position that they don't even qualify for. It's unfortunate that a person will serve as secretary for the board of directors will be in this association. A secretary general cannot construct a 50 resignation letter.
Mr. Bollietv. But then again, Mr. President, how do you think you did in this debate? How do you think you did in this debate?
Well, the truth about it is the contract was due. I was discussing the issue from our team while our counterpart was attacking and not staying with the issue, not even answering questions. But at the end of the day, the Liberian people will make the final decision.
So let me ask you my follow-up question before I go to your VP.
Yes.
You think from your performance here today, you will win on Saturday because I'll be here on Saturday again?
Well, the issue of winning lies in the...
Because you guys are here today to convince the people.
Yes, the issue of winning, we made a case, we drew the contracts.
So you think you can convince enough people to vote you on Saturday?
So for the Liberian people to vote for us to go to Saturday.
Thank you, Mr. President. It was a great debate. Well, I haven't talked to Mr. Kennedy.
Yes, sir.
Based on your performance today, do you think you are convinced enough people to win this election come Saturday?
I believe in the Liberian people. I believe in the community. I think the focus is what's best for the community. And I think I demonstrated here that I have what it takes to lead my community. And so I'm just asking them for that opportunity.
So you are convinced that what your performance today can get you the seat come on Saturday?
I believe they will vote their consciences. I believe they will go behind the ballot paper.
So you say everything here today, you convince them?
I believe in my people I want to lead. So I think I have convinced them enough, and they will make that ultimate decision to vote us in as president of the association.
Thank you. As you can see, the debate just over. I have to walk out of here. The car still parked here. It was a very fruitful debate. And it was interesting. So we can't say nothing much. No, but two of my little brothers, my little beginners, Steve Bolley and Mr. Harry, had a wonderful debate. And as a big brother, I can't really tell you who I'm going to vote for yet. But I will do my best. Mr. Bollietv.